Hello, hello, everyone. Saturday morning is back with us one more time. We've got a fresh bowl of sugary cereal, a nice pot of coffee, smelling throughout the house, and a good morning of adventure ahead of us. Today we have four brand new hunters. The first times that they'll be playing in Saturday mornings as a stream. Some of them have seen this setting before. But we've got some returning faces from last week and some new faces that have never played with us before. Now, this is Saturday Morning Cartoons, but it's going to be a Monster of the Week episode, so we're going to be seeing some clues, adventures, and we're going to be rolling some D6s. If you haven't played this system before, we'll go over the rules as we go along, answering any questions we may have along the way. But the first thing we need to do today is introduce our hunters. Say hello, fellow hunters. They've all seen our inspiration for that. I'm glad to see it. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'll give it a start. I'm Aaron, calling in out of the Twin Cities, Minnesota. We had some incredible storm weather last night, lightning, rain, and floods in the streets. That's my fun fact of the day. Players, tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, where you're calling in from, and a fun fact about you. I'll pass it to Kevin.
Getting excited to play some Monster of the Week. I played with Aaron before, and I'm looking forward to working with our hunters.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Pass that baton. Let's hand it off to Pinky.
Hello, everybody. I'm Pinky. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm located in California. TTRPG wise, I've played Monster of the Week, a bit of D&D, and also a game of public access right now. But I would say Monster of the Week is my favorite system.
Welcome to the table, Pinky. Let's pass it off to Quam.
Hi, Kwa here. My pronouns are he, him. Calling in from California. Played few TTRPGs as well. Honey Heist, Alien comes to mind, but Monster of the Week is definitely my favorite. Fun fact about myself: just ran a half marathon like a couple months ago. Hoping to do a marathon next year.
Well, congratulations.
And now I'm tired. I'm very tired.
How was it? Yeah, like thinking about you doing that exhausts me a little. How was it?
It was good up until the last 4 miles. Then it was very bad.
Oh no.
Wonderful. Callahan, give us a quick introduction.
Hey everyone, my name's Callahan. I come from the city of Big Shoulders, Chicago. I've played a lot of D&D, Tales of the Valiant, and my favorite being the Genesis system. Also, like Lasers and Feelings is wonderful. See, fun fact about me, not sure if it's fun, but I write software and I work in the climate space, helping to battle climate change. So that is my 9 to 5.
Give this man a round of applause. Absolutely, the only thing that's worthy of a vote, a dollar, or our attention these days is the climate. Please, viewers, don't listen to me. Keep watching our wholesome screen time entertainment. Ken, you have a pretty big responsibility here. You also have to now introduce your hunter to us. So, if you don't mind, go ahead and tell us what we need to know about our mundane.
Perfect. I'll be playing Bill Chapman, 63-year-old Uber driver, taking, I'm assuming these fine folk, or maybe one or two of them, off to this wonderful small town headed that way. He's a widower with a couple of middle-aged grandkids and just really trying to figure out what he needs to do next in life. A little lost.
You know, you can find lots of things on an Uber, in an Uber drive. And I think that the drivers themselves derive great benefit from such things. Wonderful. We'll pass it back up to Quack. Quack, we have a brand new character for us today. What do we need to know about our searcher?
All right, our searcher is Juno Boraska. She's a 27-year-old aspiring writer. Um, Due to unfortunate events, monsters are now part of her normal day-to-day life, and just so happens that her aunt plays a big picture in that, and she's disappeared. So Juno is trying to find her amidst all of this chaos.
Ah, an important thing, finding family that has gone missing when others are not doing the deed. Perhaps it is you in the Uber on our way to Havens Mill then this day. Perfect. Pinky, what do we need to know about our Curse Eater? Brand new playbook. We may not have as many familiar friends. What do we need to know here?
All right, today I'm playing Ducky, he, him. Ducky is originally a duckfoot pistol, forged and anthropomorphized by Hephaestus. Sort of like a part of a line of living weapons that were sent to help humans on Earth. He is still trying to figure out how his magic, his powers work, and he devours curses from supernatural beings and also from people. They're stored on his hand as metal rings until he fires them as bullets. And I think he's a happy-go-lucky sort of guy wandering around town trying to figure out how human life works.
Happy-go-lucky is a crazy explanation for a character that shoots ring bullets, but I'm in on it. Let's get to our last hunter, the only hunter that has been to this version of Haven's Mill before. Kevin, what do we need to know about our monstrous?
Hello. I will be playing Marcus Williams. He is fairly new to town, though he's been here for a few weeks. He is tall, slim, will always be wearing a weathered gray hoodie, and has recently found work in the town diner, and always seems to find himself in the middle of trouble.
Marcus has had a string of pretty terrible luck. All right, now we know our hunters. Let's meet the place we're playing in. The town of Havensmill is a little barnacle on the side of the main coastline. It follows along and off of Highway 1, a route that travels up and down the side of dividing the Atlantic and the state of Maine. We can see Havens Mill from above, a lush, tree-filled small town, not quite rural, but not quite big enough to be urban. From the top, the very pinnacle of the town, we can see a small observatory. The observatory is the only real modern building in the place. Uh, a kind of a vestige of a hopeful and growing future for a small town that has aspirations at bigger. We can see from the Havens Mill Observatory down into the town proper, where across the way, and the other thing that kind of juts out of the landscape, is a bright white and red lighthouse. Its beam shoots across the harbor, where we can see fishing boats milling about and bobbing on the waves. There's more ships nestled in the harbor, rusting in the docks, than there are ships actually fishing, but that's a problem for future Havens Mill. For now, the nets are full and the people are fed. We can see on the edge of town the old historic mill, a brick building 2 stories tall, the third really more of an atrium space. On the first floor, a historical society dedicated to the colonial history. It shows the town of Havens Mill and all of the different things that have happened to it, but also the histories of Maine and of the area where it was colonized. And then, of course, we can see the downtown area where there's a whole slew of businesses and shops, facades for hardware stores and cafes, bookstores, occults, and the like. A beautiful park holding the main town center. Now, our hunters need to connect to each other, so we're going to flip our sheets over and take a look at the back side of the page. One of the ways that you start a Monster of the Week game is by connecting your hunters with histories. Hunters, players, you have a responsibility to connect to each other so that we can get into roleplay nice and easy. Looking at those history prompts, is there anything that jumps off the page? How could you connect to another hunter?
I think I'd like to go first.
Go ahead.
I like the idea that like Bill is driving Juno into town, and she's probably just asking him questions or talking his ear off while, they're driving in.
Okay. A chance meeting, a single serving friend, but it's becoming more the longer the ride goes on. You certainly have quite a long ride from the airport. I think most people would get picked up or even try to settle in the evening in the main city. You've had a long Uber ride into town. So Callahan, how does Bill treat a long Uber ride? Is he sitting in the front seat? Are you talking to him the whole time?
Oh, I think that Bill does not stop talking unless he is asked to. So it is going to be a lot about, personally, I love that in an Uber driver. I love having a good chat. So they usually start with, who are you? Where are you going? How are you headed? That slowly leads into check out this beautiful coastline. I used to vacation here 20 years ago. Let me tell you about this beautiful and wonderful orchard just down the way. There's a phenomenal beach right over there. And just continuing to talk and just point
More and
out
more.
things along the way. Yeah.
Juno, is that the sort of thing you like in an Uber driver?
I think she does.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think she loves that. She's just so curious about the Heaven's Mill, so she's like, keep going. And they're just bouncing back and forth,
Tell me more. Awesome. In that case, it's in your hands, Callahan. Balls in your court. How do you want to connect to a different hunter?
I'm having trouble finding the page. Can I pull it up and find one quickly here, if you don't mind jumping to someone else?
Yeah, absolutely. So on your character sheet with your moves and your gear selected, you'll find the histories on the back side of that
Perfect.
sheet.
I see it right now. Thank you so much.
But for now, let's move on. Let's see. Kevin, how can you connect Marcus to one of the other players?
Well, let's see. We'll give Callahan a moment. I guess we'll go with Ducky then. Do you think? How long have you been in town? Do you think you would have found yourself in the diner very often?
Yeah, I think Ducky likes sweets and would end up in the diner consuming desserts. Maybe an unusually large amount of them.
Okay, excellent. So I've recently found work as one of the cooks there. So I would say that we met in the diner. I would be happy to ply you with our amazing desserts. I am not a baker, but I will happily talk your ear off as you go through our dessert menu.
That sounds great. I think we
Excellent.
definitely bond over sweets, and I think Ducky is fascinated by how all the parts of the diner work.
Okay.
Fast friends in a situation that a small town diner is really a community center. It binds people. It's the center of the spider's web, and Maggie, who owns the diner, is really the spider at the center of it all. Pinky, how is Ducky connected to another hunter? You can connect to Juno or to Bill.
I think that Juno's just getting into town, but I kind of want to tie a bit to fate. I think that Juno has awareness of Ducky's abilities. I think maybe she has seen him do something after getting into town and finds probably it to be very strange, but maybe curious too.
All right, Qua, how does Juno feel about Ducky's abilities? They can be quite intimidating, I imagine, if you see them in action. But it depends on which side you see, the consuming or the using with violence. Which side did Juno see, Pinky?
I think Juno probably saw Ducky unleash the ability and probably in an uncontrolled way. So I think there
Sure.
was damage to surrounding buildings.
All right, Juno, how do you feel now? Are you trying to guide this powerful being? Are you trying to avoid them? How does Juno feel?
I think Juno is like very much keeping tabs on Ducky. Like, she's a little bit, I think, apprehensive about like being friends per se, but she's just trying to keep in orbit of Ducky and just monitoring him because in her aunt's diaries, she's just like, okay, there's something weird going on here,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Ducky is pointing me in a direction that I should follow.
Okay. In that case, we've seen a searcher sort of accept this strangeness in a hope that it's a part of your fate, something that you're fated to do. Wonderful. Let's see if Callahan, are you ready? Do you have a history you'd like to use to connect Bill to someone else?
I do. I think I'm going to be connecting to Marcus here. And I think I'm going to lean for the more fun one to play, which is you're a bit suspicious of them. I think this isn't the first time that Bill has gone through Haven's Mill, and he stopped by the diner before to eat. And he's never had food that good from a place. And it just doesn't seem right that there's suddenly a new cook and the food is better than it's ever been.
Yeah, he's got to be an alien. You know,
That's amazing.
he's
That's
got
amazing.
he's got to be an alien. All right, wonderful. Our hunters are connected together. Our players are introduced, and our adventure is ready to begin. Players, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
In that case, we start in downtown Havens Mill, but it looks a little different than it usually does. Our town is full of pennants and banners. It looks like there's some sort of festival happening all at once, and as you can see, kind of just sort of panning down and into this space, we can see that the downtown Havens Mill has been converted to Art Town. We can see all along the way little stands and stalls, banners across the top of different buildings that are introducing galleries. The street corner has a caricature artist, and on the other side of things, we see a set of funnel cakes being cooked. The smell little kids are riding the smell like wolves to pies and windowsills. As we see the bunting sway and the town begin to sort of rustle and move as the camera sort of swoops along the street, we see something strange. Let's make sure you have the right song in here for the start. We see as the town square bustles with activities. Artists are setting up easels. We can see the camera pans across an explosion of color. The bright red fire hydrants, blue mailboxes, yellow flowers, a green park with benches of brown people sitting and enjoying the festival atmosphere. Behind Maggie's diner, on one of the brick facades of the buildings, we can see as a young man is painting a mural. He's got a couple of onlookers. There's a set of cones on the outskirts, and people are just sort of like, "Oh yeah, oh that's a good. That color is nice." And we can see them just generally having a wonderful time. However, across town, we can see that there is a man emerging from the bank. And as he steps to the curb, you see he like looks up from his phone and it looks up and he says, "What the? Is this some kind of prank?" People all around start to sort of like look at him strangely as if he's making a scene. And then he says, "Who painted my car gray? What's the meaning of this? This was a bright red car just when I got into the bank. Who did this? How did you do it so fast?" And we can see people all around him are starting to question, what do you mean? What's going on? And we see a local fire officer, a firefighter, step forward. She sort of looks at the man and says, "Sir, are you okay? Do you need emergency services?" And he says, "This is an emergency. But when I get my hands on him, it's gonna be. Who did this to my car?" And you can see his outrage. We see that he has, he pulls from his wallet a picture, a proud father of a bright red car. And the firefighter looks at it and looks up and looks at it and looks up, and she says, "Well, I'll be damned." And then in the distance, in one of the alleys, we see a few snickering figures sneak back into the alley and disappear. Now, our adventure, our hunters and their time in Haven's Mill begins with a question. Outside in the main market is almost like a farmer's market, and we can see two of our hunters there who would be out and about in the mainstay of the day.
I think possibly me, if Maggie will allow it, I would come out and get some ingredients that we might need for the diner.
A wonderful idea, and Maggie is all on board. Fresh ingredients for the diner is all the better to keep people in the door and have happy customers. We see you start to go out, and art is everywhere, Marcus. We can see a stall selling earrings and other jewelry. We can see a stall with painted stones, different little landscapes and motifs painted across their round surfaces. What's the first stop you make?
I'd say probably look for vegetables first. So I'm looking at whatever was recently harvested.
Vegetables. A A smart choice. The market is absolutely full of such things, and we can see Marcus stop at a stall just stacked tall with squashes and corns, lettuce on one side, already wilting in the soon-to-be hot sun. Our monstrous picks up a few things, gathers a small basket, and makes an exchange. Your bag now full with the first purchase of the day. What do we see? Can you describe your character and what you do next?
Sure. So Marcus is around 5'11", slim build. He's wearing a gray hoodie, hood down, sort of enjoying the day. Every now and again, you might see him sort of just lift his head up and enjoy the breeze. He's friendly to everyone in town. But he feels a little guilty about leaving the diner short-handed, so I'd say he probably tries to make his purchases as quickly as he can and heads back with the first basket full of groceries.
In that case, we see Marcus. You must be hot.
Yep.
Honestly, you must be hot. You're sweating. You're soaked in the back, kind of where the bag is against your back, and we can see as Maggie, who's sort of standing outside of the diner, says to you, she says, "Marcus, what are you doing? You're going to die in a heat like this. It's simply unacceptable." And we see Maggie. Maggie looks like she's somewhere between the age of 50 and 80, and you just can't exactly tell. There's parts of her on one side and parts of her on the other, but in the end, what we know is that she's been around the longest of any Havens Mill person, and she is a great mentor to your character and your monstrous. She says, "Marcus, the next time you go out, you wear a Maggie's t-shirt. I don't want you getting heat stroke on a day like today."
That's, I I promise. I will. Don't worry about me. Everything's fine.
You're going to be the death of me, boy, or the death of you. I'm uncertain. And as you step back into the diner, we see one other hunter is currently in the diner, enjoying the day's events. Who do we see?
Oh, I think that's going to be me then. I think you're going to see
Perfect.
Bill sidled up directly on the bar, uh, sitting on a stool with a fresh plate of eggs and a little bit of bacon and the biggest coffee that they will give me.
Sure enough, sure enough. We see a couple of things. First and foremost, uh, we see a sticker. We get our first sticker of the day. So let's take a quick look at the clue table. On our clue table today, we have 4 landmarks. So as soon as you find all 4 of the landmark stickers, you'll get 1 point of experience. Maggie's Diner is the first one. Bill, you're sitting in Maggie's Diner, sort of belly to the counter. Can you please describe your character? What do you look like today, and what are you eating? What are you doing? You have a paper, some food?
Yeah, Bill drove in this morning. Pretty long drive, but always loves coming out here to Havens Mill. He's 63 years old. He has more hair on the sides of his head than he does on the top. Wears a little bit of a cap and walks with a limp. Today, he put on a nice cardigan, which, to be honest, is very hot. And he is just relaxing and enjoying a cool breeze of a fan that oscillates nearby.
We see this sort of like blow back. Your mustache kind of like wiggles in the fan winds. We see for just a second as your hat starts to fly away and you catch it and put it back on your head. And then you turn as the door opens and you see Marcus. He is also dripping in sweat. And it's kind of a moment of empathy. 2 people wearing something silly on a summer day. But the air condition of this place, we see Marcus come up and step next to you and stand by the fan and take just a second before he heads to the back with his bag full of groceries to just let the wind blow his hood into like a big air cushion shape. Marcus, as you settle in next to Bill, as you see the chef who made your breakfast earlier stop by, what do the 2 of you say? What do you do?
Is that the secret? Fresh
Yeah, go.
vegetables?
All you.
Is that the secret? Fresh vegetables? I don't understand how you can make eggs and a nice little salad taste so good.
I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, we try to make everything fresh as soon as we can get it. Can I top that coffee off for you?
Please.
I go and put this stuff down. I will quickly give him some coffee and pour him up. Anything you need, you just let me know.
But it just can't be fresh vegetables. You know, I have a little garden patch at home, and I, try to cook things myself every now and then. And nothing tastes like this. It's got to be something else. What is your secret?
Oh, I'll never tell.
We see Marcus kind of like turn towards the door, sweating. Is he talking about my real secret? We see written clear on the monstrous face. Now, when you get back to the kitchen, we see a couple of line cooks, and they're sort of like milling about in the background, flipping burgers. We see a whole thing of hash browns, like the whole size of the flat top get flipped over. They're using like an enormous spatula. It's way too large and comically, like cartoonishly large. And as they flip the hash browns over, they look and you can see that they're toast. They've been just burning everything back here. The toast is too done. The brunch menu items are starting to go. There isn't a single medium well egg that isn't just totally scorched. And as you look at the line, you see out of one of the porthole windows the mural that's outside going up. Marcus, what do you do first as you settle back in?
First thing is I'll drop the vegetables out. How about you let me take this over? Maybe you guys need a minute to cool off for a little bit. I got this.
They both go to take a break, and then seconds later, we see them through the porthole standing by the mural, and we see Marcus for just a second dive into cooking. Kevin, go ahead and roll an act under pressure. Let's see if you can save this line from the weeds.
All right. So that's I have a 1 for cool. So that is a 9 for me.
A 9 is a mixed success. So a 7 to 9 is a mixed success. On one of those for an act under pressure, you'll get a hard choice, a price to pay, or a worse outcome. For your price to pay, I'll say this: you can get all this food done, but you'll take a -1 forward until you take a moment to rest. And exhaustion sets in as you successfully wheel and deal the day's breakfast.
Done.
Or
Okay.
you can let a couple things go a little less than perfect, but you will deliver all the food, even if it's not Maggie's top quality.
No, I can't have that, especially not with Bill here. I have a reputation to uphold. Yeah, so I will absolutely take that -1 going forward.
All right. In that case, we see you successfully wheel and deal. Describe it for us. What cartoon antics do you get into to get everything out on time?
Oh, I have little Tasmanian Devil style tornadoes going on the grill. Just anything that was about to burn that gets saved just before. I'm getting the bacon as it's just that magical crisp state. I am flipping the pancakes just so. This is my element. I have everything under control.
You can't
Everything.
tell me that is vegetables only. Ugh.
Bill, I think it's time for you to roll your first dice of the day. Go ahead and roll to read us to investigate a mystery here, as you can just see through the crack of the door leading to the diner's kitchen. Marcus in a absolute fury of activity. That's going to be plus sharp, Callahan.
Perfect. All right. That is going to be an 8 plus 1 of a 9.
The 9 is also a mixed success. You'll get one question. What would you like to know? For our first time of the day, I'll read the list. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do or what can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here?
Think we're going to go with what can it do?
You get the sense that Marcus is acting beyond human limitations back there. Something is going on that is truly remarkable. And as you watch him, you can see that he moves with a superhuman speed. He has a very careful and calculated presence. Every single movement is perfectly placed. His spatula is here. His chopped lettuce there. He's got plates juggling as he moves. He's quite powerful, whatever he is.
That man was born to be a cook. Wow.
We pan away and up and out of the diner as our two friends in here have a quick moment to enjoy the fan. Outside, there's one more hunter at the art fair. Who is it? Ducky? Juno?
I think it's Ducky.
Where do we find Ducky? Pinky, will you please describe your character and what you're doing?
So Ducky sort of has a casual outfit on. He's also a hoodie enthusiast, wearing jeans and sneakers. And he is at the ice cream stand. I think it's a hot day, so he wants an ice cream. And he's just sort of chatting up the staff behind the counter. He's like, "Yeah, Clara, I bet we could add like 5 scoops on that. And can we do some whipped cream on top and those sprinkles? I don't think it'll fall over. We did 4 last time, so I think we can throw another one on top. Yeah, it's only $1 more for like those cherries, right? I think we could
Yeah.
stick a couple on those."
Okay. We see Clara has a stack of ice cream scoops on top of a sugar cone, and it is just like too tall, precariously wobbling as she reaches one hand over to the topping section, takes a scoop and starts to try to put it on top. Is this enough?
Yeah, that's perfect, Clara. You're a professional.
This is what I do, Ducky. Oh, and as you sort of we see Claire like wobble over to the cash register and start to press buttons, and we see Ducky look around the room. Inside of the cafe here, we can see as there is galleries, little spots for small artists. 3 paintings on this wall of the same artist, and 4 paintings on the other. They're colorful and bright and minimalist in their use of space on the canvas, and really, really good art. The prices are good, and I'm not sure. Ducky certainly has money. Do you, are you going to go look around at the art here, or do you want to purchase one in the shop?
I think that Ducky will look around, and while he is eating his ice cream, try not to get any on the art. He's definitely thinking to himself, like, should have taken a picture of this ice cream here. This is art.
We do see you take a snapshot of this, but it's already like 2/3 consumed. And like the ice cream cone is now like you just like vacuum sealed your mouth over the top of it. It's gone in seconds, and it's almost too late to catch a picture. You do get a picture of your own lips covered in the ice cream as you smile, but the ice cream itself doesn't make it. Um, Ducky, where do you head next? As you step from the shop, there's lots of art all around. You can see across the way the second floor of the mill has opened up to a new gallery, and all over town there's little galleries for small artists open and ready to peruse. Where does our curse eater go?
Yeah, I think Ducky's gonna go to the gallery because here they had refreshments for free, and he's thirsty now.
Thirsty now. We see you head across the way and step into the cool, air conditioned space of the Old Havens Mill. We first and foremost, we can see as you step into the space that we get another sticker, a quick sticker here for our Havens Mill. The old historic mill, the first floor is dedicated to histories, but all of it is really closed off right now. Banners of bright open colors make their way up to the stairs. And on the second floor, as you enter in, there's drink station, free snacks, and we see Ducky start to pull from it. Ducky, when you turn to look at the art in Havens Mill, you see a piece that delights you. Will you please describe it for us?
I think it is a image of a table. It's very like realistically painted, but it's overflowing with all the things that Ducky likes to eat. I think it's the best thing that he's ever seen.
Oh, a still life of your favorite foods.
Yeah.
How did they know? This is really literally Ducky's like perfect meal. And it strikes you as a little odd, but it is just perfect. Um, Ducky, as you see this, you can see that the museum curator is a little old lady. She comes over and sort of like looks at it next to you. She says, "Ah, that's a good one. The boy who painted that is doing a mural over at the cafe right now. Jose Chuk. He's got a real eye for color, doesn't he?"
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. I'm tearing up a little. Yeah. He starts to cry a little bit.
Just a couple of loose tears begin to stream, and we see the old woman. Betty puts an arm on your shoulder and just sort of like says, "We're all moved by art sometimes, Ducky. Don't be afraid to cry."
Yeah, I'm not afraid. It's just yeah, this is so amazing. I gotta check this guy out. Where'd you say he was?
Well, he's putting up a mural over on the brick building across the parking lot from Maggie's Diner. I believe that the mural was dedicated to his parents, immigrants who came to this town all the way from southern Mexico.
That's amazing. You got some tissues I can bring? I feel like I'm gonna cry over there too.
She hands you a small satchel of tissues, and we see Ducky weeping in this first scene as you stuff your face with the snacks and free foods from the table. Let's turn to our last hunter. Um, Juno, where would we find our searcher on a day like today?
I think Juno is like slowly meandering her way to town. Um, normally, um, so she's 5'6". Normally, she's very stylish. She wears her bomber jacket, has her ripped jeans, and some leather boots. But she looks a little bit disheveled today. You know, when you you move to a new area, you usually have to adjust, you know. She's not adjusting that well because she's just kind of paranoid. So as she doesn't sleep, she just decides she's gonna write. So she's coming off of an all-nighter right now. She looks hair's all messy. Uh, she doesn't look her best. Her bomber jacket around her waist, and she's making her way into town trying to look for any source of caffeine.
First and foremost, as you're making your way through there, Juno, we can see as you come into the contact. You're the first one to come into contact with the situation by the car. You can see as as you're walking towards the downtown central square. There's a couple of cafes. You've got your eyes on it. You may just head to Maggie's, but you want to see what they're serving at Art Town first. And we see as our searcher comes onto the scene of the car. A man is yelling at now the sheriff and at the fire chief and at a bunch of civilians, like, I want to see the video footage of that camera there. And he's pointing up at a store nearby that has a camera pointed his way. He says, somebody vandalized my vehicle and I'll get to the bottom of this one way or the other. Sheriff Dana Collins is trying his best to keep this person calm, but it's not going super well. And Fire Chief Teresa Alvarez is beside you as we go. We see as she sort of folds her arm and looks at him sternly. She says, "Sir, nobody painted your car while you were in the bank. Okay, that's simply impossible. The paint would still be wet." And she touches the side. "This is a perfectly dry car. It's a preposterous thing you're suggesting." Juno, what would you like to do here?
Gina's definitely listening in. I want to say, could I use the things I've seen?
Interesting. Yes, yes. Our searcher has a few moves here that could be of value. Will you please read the things I've seen out loud?
Okay, so the things I've seen. When you encounter a creature or phenomenon, you may declare that you have seen it before. The keeper may ask you some questions about that encounter, and will then tell you one useful fact that you learned, and one danger you need to watch out for. Maybe right now.
All right. You've encountered this before. Where was it?
I want to say that she actually read this account in one of her aunt's diaries. Um, and her aunt had seen this sort of serial act around a town before.
Okay, okay. So we've seen it at your aunt's. Um, let's see. Let's see. Did you come into contact with the creature, or did you just see the phenomenon?
I think just seeing the phenomenon.
In this case, what you remember is that the last time you visited your aunt, they too were having some sort of artsy collective, a couple of galleries in town, and it seemed to draw the attention of something that stole colors from things around town. Whatever it was, just seemed to like leach the colors from the scenery. They found a completely gray fire truck. They found a complete like a gray-white grayscale car in another town. You've experienced this before, and what you know is that um, it's almost certainly going to happen again somewhere else in town. When you experienced it before, it happened all over before it suddenly stopped with no explanation.
I think she's gonna walk to the two and kind of make a quip, a little sassy. She's like, "Ugh, I guess no, y'all haven't had your first cup of coffee either, you know?"
Oh, Teresa looks at you and sort of nods. She says, "Actually, that's true. I haven't had my first cup yet. Uh, Sir, can we offer to buy you a beverage, perhaps to give you a chance to calm down? I know coffee maybe riles you up a little, but hand us your insurance card. I've already sent the sheriff for that look at that security camera. Everything's under control." What do you say? You're going to try to help out here, or would you like to try to convince him to do something else?
Hmm. I think she's gonna try to calm him down and just convince him to get away from his car so she can kind of just inspect it a little bit more.
Nice. So in that case, if you want to send him with Teresa to the cafe and meet up with them later, I'm going to need a manipulate someone. That's going to be a plus charm.
Okay. Not looking great.
Oh no. Our
That's a
searcher
5.
our searcher has a +1 to charm, so you rolled a couple of 2s, is my guess. A 5.
Yeah.
So our first time of the adventure, let's go over how we can use luck. This is a one-shot adventure, so every player at the table has 1 luck point to use. You can use your luck to turn a roll to a 12 or to avoid all harm from an injury. If a monster attacks and you know you're going to take a grievous blow, you can say, I'd like to use luck to avoid that harm. You've marked a 5 here, so you can either mark an experience or you can choose to use a luck. What would you like to do, Quack?
I think I'm gonna take that fail.
Awesome. A hard move in
And
my pocket and an experience in yours.
yes.
In that
Um,
case, what do you say out loud before this man reacts poorly?
I feel like she's not like saying anything out of pocket, you know. I think she's super excited and she's like, "Oh my God, you're gonna get free coffee from the fire chief." And then as she's walking towards them, she trips and like bangs the car or something.
Ooh, tough. A dent immediately visible. We can see as the car takes the hit, and we watch as this man sort of like he gets red. He just like immediately goes red from shirt to top. Steam starts to come out of his ears. We can see as he boils over and he fists up. And then the sheriff walks out and he says, yeah, no, I've got some footage here for you. It's really weird. You want to come take a look, sir?" And he immediately like, "Ah!" And the sheriff like, "Oh." And he says, "Sorry, sheriff. I'm gonna need to hand my insurance card off to some fool first." And he walks over to you, Juno. He hands you a card. He says, "Where's your insurance? I want it now."
She's just so flabbergasted, mouth agape, eyes wide open. Oh my God. I feel like she kind of sprints into town because she's so like mortified by the whole situation.
Turn, tail, and run, and we see you go. You take the insurance card in hand, I'm sure, but we also see it as it sort of flies serendipitously down to the sidewalk, and we see your blurry background as you go. So our hunters all, in their own way, make their way to the cafe. As we see the morning rush settle down, Marcus, you wipe the sweat from your brow, and your coworkers come in from break just in time for the rush to end. We can see as you're sitting there, Marcus, looking at them, they're like, "All right, hey, looks great in here, Marcus. It's a little bit of a mess, but well, you can clean that up, right?"
Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
All right, we'll handle the next few orders that come in. And they both just like turn and look at the ticket machine, silent and still, and they don't move. What do you do?
Just sigh. Yeah. And I'll start cleaning up as best I can to prep for the next wave.
Cleaning and going along, you spot as you're wiping down the counter, as outside, you can see that muralist is now standing alone, most of the people having moved further into Art Town, except there's one figure standing next to him. She's large. Maybe 6'1" or 2, certainly built like she plays rugby, black hair pulled tight in a bun, and something just a little off about the color of her whole image. Like she's tinted blue. Violet Beauregard style. Marcus, as you look out the window, you can't help, like, your eyes are just like, what? You cannot believe what you see.
Huh.
You can leave out the back door, you can continue to watch through the window, or you can head out through the front of the diner. You're almost done with your cleaning tasks already. Marcus, what do you want to do?
I do think I would do that. So I would finish up the counter real quick. I think I would try and go outside through the front just to, like, is this are the windows dirty? I could swear they were cleaned earlier. There has to be something wrong. But I would go out the front to see if I can get a better look at her, because I can't possibly be seeing this.
In this case, Bill, as you see Marcus sort of hang his apron, he's pulling his sweatshirt on as he exits the diner. You turn and you look, and you too can spot somebody talking to the muralist that just looks a little strange. What does our mundane do?
Does she have that blue? I also see that blue.
You
tint to
also
it.
see it, absolutely, yeah.
Oh dear God, that lady's choking. I'm gonna throw $20 on the counter and rush out the door.
Wow, such a pull. We see as you rush out, Maggie in the diner sort of just like shakes her head and pockets your 20. And then we see the two of you exit. You run past Ducky. Ducky, you've maybe just gotten to the corner, and now the three of you are looking at the mural, and we can see one Jose Chuck. He's the man is maybe 5'6", 5'7". He has a backwards cap and a focused look on his face. He has a couple of cans of spray paint scattered about and a mask that he puts up to his mouth as he sprays. And the mural is coming together beautifully. However, right now he looks like he's being bullied. And we can see as the person bullying him is large and blue. She steps up to him and says, "Just give me the paint. Just give me the tube of paint. You don't have to give me anything else. I won't even touch your mural. All I need is that so good blue that you've got in your pocket right there." And Jose's like, "No, man, I need this blue. This is the keystone color here." Oh, thank you. At least somebody else. Excuse me. Can you please help me? First off, I think she needs medical attention. And second, she's trying to steal my paint supplies. And he's talking to the three of you. What do you want to do?
Are you in distress? It looks like you're choking. I remember my grandkid when he swallowed a Hot Wheel. He turned just your color. We gotta get you. You're a pretty big lady. I don't know if I can do the Heimlich though. Can you bend down?
She looks at you and sort of just chuckles to herself and says, "I'm not choking, you fool. You impotent cad. I'm blue. It's my name, it's my color, and it's what I like to eat." And she leans forward and grabs one of the cans on the ground and goes to take an enormous bite out of it, like she's going to take a chunk out of the side of the metal. Does anyone want to do anything here?
Wow, processing this. I'm gonna regret this. Yeah, I'm gonna try and move forward and see if I can put a hand on the can. And for now, this place, I really don't think that's safe to eat. The diner's right here. We have blueberry pie. Maybe we can work with that.
She looks at you and she says, "Blueberries are purple, you fool." And then she's gonna take a chunk out of the can. Go ahead and roll to charm someone though here, Marcus. Let's just see if you manipulate someone can convince her otherwise.
Okay, so actually, from our most recent game, because I had some rolls that didn't go great, I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
like to use my monstrous unnatural appeal And I would like to roll weird instead of charm if I'm going to try and manipulate blue.
Nice.
An unnatural appeal indeed. That's going to turn your -1 to a 3 on your dice to add to your dice. So it's a huge change.
A little bit. So the exhaustion from working the grill, that wouldn't affect this. I'm hoping. Is that the
This
case?
will be still a -1 though. So
Okay,
you'll
that's
be
fair. All right,
rolling
so
+2.
a +2, all good. Okay, here we go. Oh, that is a 13.
Hey,
All right.
a 13 is spicy. On a charm person, on a 12 plus, or on a 10 plus, they'll do it for the reason you gave them. However, as you go to do this, she looks at you, and we see as it, you've actually managed to charm Jose. He's like, yeah, whatever, all right. Don't let her touch my paint supplies, okay? I'm gonna go inside and grab a bite. And as you turn around, you realize you can't charm her because she's not a civilian. As she takes a chunk out of the can on the outside of it has a blue label, and instead of digging her teeth into the metal, one of her teeth just touches the label itself, and she seems to almost suck all of the blue out of the label. And then as she does, she drops at the can, tink, 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 and as it does, it bounces against the ground and lets loose a spray of gray paint. You just saw him using this to paint his mural. She lets out a huge belch. And then she says, that was pretty tasty. I have a question for the three of you. Are any of you wearing the color blue?
I want to lie so bad. I'm probably wearing blue jeans.
Yeah, I think Ducky is also wearing blue jeans.
She, with my hard move, we see as Blue turns towards you, hands outstretched like a pro wrestler. She curls her fingers. She's got palms and knuckles like a farmer. She looks like she can throw hay bales. And as she steps forward, she says, "You know, one of my favorite flavors? Denim." And then she lunges towards the three of you. And for now, we're going to turn away towards our searcher. Juno, somewhere across town, you have decided to start running away from the situation, but you don't get far before you feel a hand on your shoulder as Teresa Alvarez stops you from fleeing the scene. She puts a hand on your shoulder and she says, "Hey, excuse me, like, you why are you running?"
I'm, I'm sorry. He was just really mad, and I haven't had my coffee, and it's just a little bit too early. I'm just a little frazzled, is all.
I understand completely, but it's best if you sort of handle that business first. Now, I've calmed him down. I don't need you to go back now, but we can't have you doing hit and runs around the city, if you understand.
She kind of just like lets a really heavy sigh. I
I
understand.
know.
Um,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be bothersome here, but well, do you mind if we go back and talk to him a little?
uh, sure. Why not?
She puts a hand on your shoulder and pats your back. You're doing the right thing. But as you turn around, you see as across the way, this sort of creeping out of an alley, you watch as a tall, lanky man, thin, maybe 140 pounds, but he's got to be 6'5", steps out of an alley in kind of that like classic cartoon crouch, and then he like looks around real big, and then he like dives for a fire hydrant on the road, and you can just watch as like he opens his mouth, and kind of different from Blue, he just like looks like he's just pulling air in, and from the fire hydrant a stream of color, like he's vacuuming it up. We can see this man sort of siphon the color out of this fire hydrant that's sitting in the center of the sidewalk here, and then he kind of like rolls over on his back, like, and looks up at the sky. He too is tinted somewhat red. Teresa looks at you. Did you see that?
Um, oh my God, yes.
What what
Hey,
what
this smell
is
is.
that?
This isn't normal around here. Like, I'm just double checking with you.
Normal? I've never seen anything like that. Did that guy just eat the color off of that thing?
I think so.
Okay, that's not good. Do you think he's what happened to that car?
Wait, the car was red?
The car was red. Yes, bright cherry red.
And like you can see Juno just like fixated on Teresa's jacket, and she kind of breaks out in a sweat. Do you think he's gonna come by over here? Because she's like eyeing her up and down. You know,
She looks at her own jacket and kind of says like, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, this is bad. Okay. I don't know. She goes to take her jacket off, and then she says like, "No, I'm an authority figure. I should. What do I do?" And Juno, I think this also precipitates a move here. You may have one that might be of value to you. This is a creature, and it's the first time you're seeing one. You have a move for this.
yeah, I have cryptid sighting.
In this case,
Or
go ahead and read that move out for the audience.
okay, cryptid sighting. You take note of any reports of strange creatures. Whenever you first see that new type of creature, you may immediately ask one of the investigate a mystery questions.
This is certainly something unusual. He has a tone to him. He's monochrome from skin to clothes to shoes. He is red from top to bottom, and he's certainly not fully human with whatever he just did to that thing. Go ahead and ask one of the questions. Which would you like to know?
Think what sort of creature is it?
When he opened his mouth, this creature did seem to have some sort of teeth poking out from it. He may not have actually pierced the fire hydrant with them, but you can see those fangs, and you know them to be vampire fangs. Teresa is going to start to step across the street. What would you like to do?
She's looking around. If there's like a vendor with like produce.
Definitely farmers market stalls scattered up and down the street. Whatever you want is at your disposal here. What would you like to grab?
I think what comes to her mind is, okay, vampire fangs. Maybe I gotta just grab some garlic and like run towards Teresa. So she like sprints to
Wonderful.
one of these grocers, and she just overpays essentially. She just like throws a bill or something, and then snatches the garlic, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, I haven't had my coffee yet. Sorry," and then like just starts running towards Teresa.
All right. In this case, Juno, as you're going to run towards her, you can either roll to try to convince her to stop doing what she's doing with a manipulate someone, or you can roll to try to protect her with a tough.
I think she's gonna try to convince her not to get any closer.
Wonderful. As you grab on and she turns to you and looks at you eye to eye, roll plus charm. What do you say?
Let's see. That is +1, 9.
A 9, a mixed success on charm. So we have on a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show them that you mean it. You can either sell her on the danger of walking across that street, or you can tell her that you have a better approach. What do you want to do here?
I think she's gonna try to convince her that it's not worth going across the street.
All right, what do you say?
So she's running up very frantically, and she's like, "No! Look, Teresa, you fight fires. You don't fight red guys. It's not in your job description. I don't think you should try today."
This red guy is not a threat to me, okay? If I need to scuffle, why, I've been in a few fights. I have 5 brothers, okay? Look, that gangly, lanky man over there isn't going to do anything to me. She's not convinced, Qua. What do you want to do to try to hammer it home?
She's thinking so hard, and she's like, I don't think he wants to clobber you. I think he wants to eat you, and I, mm, I really don't think your fists are gonna do anything.
She nods and looks at you and just sort of like, yeah, I guess that's not a good plan. Violence is never the answer. What do we do instead? And the two of you sort of like duck behind a car conspiratorially. You pop your heads up over the top, and you can see as he's heading towards one of the street signs. The hardware store has a red in its sign that is this brilliant, brilliant tomato red, and we can see as Ruddy Roger is sort of rubbing his hands together, like licking his lips, and we see as he starts to float just a few inches off the ground. Your first sight of what he can do. Why don't you go ahead and roll to investigate a mystery for me?
Oh,
Or read a bad situation, your choice, which questions you'd like.
I think I would like to investigate a mystery.
Perfect. Plus sharp it is.
First of all, I'd like to use what can hurt it.
What did you roll on your sharp?
Oh, I got a 11.
11 is 2 hold. Your
Oh,
first one is what can hurt it. Excellent.
That's a 12. My bad. I messed up the modification.
A 12 is still perfect. In a one shot, on a 12 plus, you get to ask 2 questions, but one of them can be any question you'd like. We'll start with what can hurt it. This creature seems like if he has 1 or 2 of the vampire's powers, he likely has 1 or 2 of the vampire's weaknesses. You can't help but feel like if he's red, it's got to be something related to a color that's not that. You get the sense that maybe he's weak to running water, like some vampires in lore. He may not be able to cross streams or rivers. You also get the sense that red cross symbols might be the type of symbology you could use rather than the traditional crucifix to drive him away. He may want the red from it, but the cross itself could be dangerous to him. For now, as you look around, neither of those is available to you. What would you like to know with your second question?
Trying to think real hard about this. Could I save this hole?
You can, but you have to use it in this scene. Would you like me to come back to you?
Yes.
No worries. We see the two of you watching Ruddy as he floats up towards the sign and starts to siphon the red from it. His reign of destruction ongoing. For now, we turn back to the other hunters. Blue has just stepped towards you with with some sort of ill intent in mind. We can see as as this color vampire on your side, she lunges and she moves with a supernatural speed. Something is crazy fast about her. She moves so fast that it's hard for the eye to follow, and then she is standing in front of Marcus. Marcus, as she goes, you see as she says, I don't have to take a bite of those. I'll just pull that color right out. And she starts to try to vacuum the blue from your jeans. What does our monstrous do?
So near as I can tell, I'm assuming she would have to make direct contact to do that. Again, as far as I know, so I'm going to lunge forward and try and grab her wrists. And I would like to use my unholy strength for this if I can, so that I can roll weird instead of tough and have our little blueberry back the heck off.
Unholy strength. Perfect. Let's see what everybody's doing in the scene, and I'll decide what order to resolve them. Bill, what does our mundane do while Blue attacks Marcus?
You would call this fighting a monster?
I would indeed. We are about to engage in a quote-unquote tense combat.
I would love to use the power of heart, which is one of my mundane powers. When fighting a monster, if you help someone, don't roll plus cool. You automatically help as though you rolled a 10.
Beautiful. A power of heart. I believe we'll want to resolve that after we see the results of the other dice, but keep in mind you'll be describing it at that time. Ducky, what will our curse eater do in this moment?
I think Ducky's trying to do some magic. He would like to try to devour evil at a range, so he's going to try to use reach.
This is a pretty long move, so can you give us the highlights?
So I think the way that Ducky can devour evil at a range, she sort of has one hand out. It looks like, like two fingers out, like when you make a pistol with your hand. And he's trying to focus in on Blue since Marcus is kind of pro wrestling her right now too. And he is whispering to himself, um, mumbling under his breath, like, by Hephaestus's flame, forge a new fate. And he's trying to pull the craving that she feels out of her. That's the curse he's trying to pull.
Oh, the craving. All right. So you're going to roll one die. If the die shows a 1 or a 3, you'll mark 1 corruption. On a 4 or 5, mark 2. And on a 6, mark 3. For a monster or minion with half or more harm capacity remaining, you'll mark 1 extra. This is a full health monster.
I got a 3.
If you have more corruption than consumed magics, you can ask the keeper to provide you a power and downside that this curse gives you. You're going to go ahead and steal her hunger. What downside will you be taking with that?
I think that by taking her hunger for it, at the current moment, like, I think the downside when he will use it is that he will only be able to see things that are blue. Like, that'll be the only color he sees.
Okay.
Yeah. And
in this case, your power temporarily is Blue's speed. As you siphon this hunger from them, you feel faster. For just a moment, your speed is an unnatural speed, and it is you who acts first. Ducky, can you please describe to us how this looks while you do it, as Marcus sort of grapples with Blue?
I think the appearance of this curse, as it's pulled from her, appears on his hand in the form of a metal ring. I think for this episode, the ring has like a blue gem on it.
Okay.
And as he pulls out the curse and feels the speed, he starts to sort of like get a little bit jumpy, as if he's gonna start running or something like that.
Jumpy indeed. That classic "I've had too much coffee this morning and I don't know what to do with my hands" feeling we see as Ducky starts to basically vibrate. As you do, you start to move. But Marcus, you've rolled to kick some ass here. Is that correct?
It is indeed, yes.
All right, you're gonna roll plus weird for your unholy strength. What'd you get?
So I rolled a 5. My weird is 3, so that's a total of 8.
8 is a mixed success. 7 to 9, you and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. What is your total harm?
Right now I'm good. I have no harm at the moment. That's about to change.
I'm sorry. What is the total harm of your weapon?
Oh, I'm sorry. My well, I guess this would be claws. So 2 harm hand.
Coming in with the claws, pro wrestler style. We love it. 2 harm hand. However, Blue is gonna clobber you good. We see. Describe your attack. How do you make contact? How do you keep her from getting to your blue jeans?
Well, let me just throw this in case it's relevant. I also have an ignore armor, just in case that's relevant.
It certainly is.
Oh my! Now I'm even more concerned. Okay, so I'd say the first thing that I would try to do is grab her hands, and I guess if anyone happened to be looking real close, you would sort of see the nails on my hands grow a little bit longer, a little bit sharper, and they're sort of digging into her wrists. And you may hear a little extra bass in my voice as didn't your mother tell you that's rude to grab?
Oh, scary. We do, however, see as you go to kind of grab her, you deal your damage with your claws. You dig them into the backs of her hands. However, she sort of laughs, and then we see her just speed strike you as she basically pulls you in tight to a bear hug and suplexes you over. We watch as you get slammed into the parking lot, to harm hand quick.
Got
There
it.
is no way to respond here, and unfortunately, Bill, your power of heart wouldn't have affected either of the dice. So, describe how you'd like to help, but you also get to do another move here.
Perfect. I think it will play well together because rather than it helping that role, it's going to end up being in a manipulate person. Specifically, I'm going to be making quite a commotion and ideally drawing the attention of everyone kind of away from this situation itself. So they're not seeing what's happening. So instead, Bill's going to pull off his glasses and start rubbing his eyes and crying out, "Oh no, the color blindness. I was told it comes in a family. I thought I avoided it. Everything's turning gray."
We see you start to make a scene. Go scene you're on him. Go ahead and roll to either act under pressure or to manipulate someone here. I believe your charm is probably your best bet here.
Yes, so I'll go with manipulate someone. It's a +2. And rolled a 3, so a total of 5.
Oof. Callahan, would you like to use your luck point here, or would you like to save it for later?
Absolutely not. This is a much better scene if this goes sideways.
I love your attitude. Go ahead and mark that experience. However, with my hard move, we watch as Blue sort of stands up and dusts her hands. We can see classic Donkey Kong style. Marcus is buried in the concrete of the parking lot. His head is in it. We can see him like scrambling at the asphalt to try to get himself free. And then Blue looks over at Ducky. And we see Blue kind of like cock their head. Ducky, you look a little blue as well. In addition to the downside of seeing blue, your skin has a bit of that tint as well. And Blue looks at you and says, "Huh, strange. You weren't looking so blue before, but I can fix that for you." And we see Blue dart towards you, Ducky. What do you want to do?
Must have been that Blue Moon ice cream I had earlier. I think Ducky's gonna try to lure Blue away and sort of like provoke her, like, "If you want some of this, come and get it." And he's gonna start running. And I would like to use my consume curse so he can move quickly as fast as her.
Nice. All right. So when you consume a curse, you can. That's a second part of Devour Evil, is that right?
The unleash corruption. So I can
when
use
you've
it.
marked corruption, you may release a power that you've consumed. So use the power and clear a corruption, choosing whether to keep control or not. Controlled, it does what you want. You'll erase the consumed magic line. Uncontrolled, the power and downside both activate, and the keeper determines how it goes. I think this sounds like an act under pressure to me to try to do this.
Sounds good. Yeah, I was thinking of just using it uncontrolled, since he's already seeing blue.
Sure, sounds great.
I got a 12.
Wow, you do exactly what you set out to do. Assuming this doesn't shoot off your finger like a ring bullet, what do we see when you activate this curse?
Yeah, they don't shoot off of him, unfortunately. Not this one, at the very least. I think it dissolves into his skin, and so
Ooh.
it adds to the blue a little bit, and then he can feel more of that burst of energy. And with the act under pressure roll, have a bit more control of it. So his torso isn't going one way while his legs are the other, so he can focus on where he's going.
Wonderful. We see you you're seeing blue already, and as you look back, she almost blends into the landscape behind you, and then you start to move, and we see blue go chasing after you. Bill, you're lucky. as Ducky managed to you managed to distract people just long enough for Blue and Ducky to dart off in a hectic cartoon chase. However, as you look back, the crowd now sort of looks at you like you're a boy who cried wolf. They're looking around like, shouldn't we be helping? Why are you trying to keep our eyes on him? Look at Marcus. His head's buried in the parking lot.
Yeah, wow. That stinks. Marcus, let me help you get up here. I think they dashed off that way. Who was that?
You pull Marcus out. His head as it sort of like pops like a bubble out of it. And Marcus, we see you just sort of like spinning for a second before your eyes settle in.
And I would say you see a yellow tint to my irises as I come back, and it like fades as I see that it's you and not Blue. Which way did they go?
That way, down towards the art fair.
And I take off.
All right, we're going that way.
Bill, the Uber driver, on your tail, just following along because that lady needs help. She's choking, and we see as you as you scoot along, the two of you on your way to try to catch up to two quickly moving, slightly blue tinted, strange folk. We turn back to the town center. Sitting across from Ruddy Roger as he siphons from one of the local town signs, we see Juno. Teresa is looking up at that sign and she says, "I can't take this anymore. We have to stop him before he has a chance to consume all of the red in the whole town."
Okay, hear me out. So you see, he's a little weird. Just maybe entertain this thought just a little bit. I think we have a vampire on our hands.
A vampire? Are you telling me a joke right now? What do you mean by that? A vampire?
I mean, Teresa. Just think about how he just sucked the color out of that fire hydrant. This is not
Look,
normal.
where I come from, the vampires suck blood, and they're bats. There is no such thing as a person vampire. Those are stories you tell to kids to keep them out of the woods at night.
Okay, well, let's say this is a different kind of vampire, if that makes it any better. But if that's the case, could you help me out? I have an idea.
Of course. What can I do? And I'll
Okay.
have you roll one more quick manipulate someone. Well, actually, ask what you have first. Let's see if she needs to manipulate someone.
Could you maybe, you're a firefighter, so you must have the tools. Could you possibly bust open that fire hydrant?
Fire hydrant. We can try. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't really think our friend is very fond of running water, so if we could direct it at him,
All right,
maybe
let's give
stop
it a
him
try.
at the very least. Yes, let's do it.
We're going to need to sneak across the street, and Teresa won't have dice to do it, so it's going to depend on your role here. For Juno, I do think this is going to be an act under pressure to get over there safely.
Okay, so hear me out. I
Or
still have that hold for
you
the
have a hold.
investigative mystery. I'd like to know if I can interrupt his suction with a different color.
Your free question. Interesting. You can absolutely try. His siphon seems to be only taking the red from the things he eats. So he doesn't seem to be taking the green from the sign or the yellow from the letters. On the fire hydrant, there was one of the caps painted blue, the cap that they might use first in an emergency, the one that marks where they'll take off and open the hydrant. That did not change color, despite the rest of it going gray. Trying to feed him another color could be a way forward, but for now, all you've ever seen him eat so far is red.
Okay. So this is a little uncharacteristic of her, but she's gonna put herself in harm's way. and she's like, Teresa, just focus on the fire hydrant. I have a plan. Just follow my lead. And she just takes off in a full sprint towards uh Running Roger, you know?
No
And
hiding anything. I love the cut of your jib. You get one. You can have a +1 to your next action here. Then, as you sprint across, your goal is to keep Roger off or not paying attention to Teresa as she scrambles over to the fire hydrant, pops open, like lifts up a piece of concrete next to it, and starts to try to get it open for you. What do you do to distract Roger?
okay, so she is taking her bomber jacket that she's tied around her waist off. It's a blue bomber jacket, and she kind of like circles it around so it looks more like a sling, and she tries to throw it over his face, you know?
Over his face? We see as you go to try to throw this jacket over his eyes. He can't see, he can't eat, whatever it ends up being. Let's give it a roll. I think this is an act under pressure for me. You can have a +1 forward. You have a 0 to cool.
It's not looking good at all. That's a 2.
A 2. We see a remarkable fail. And as you go to put this jacket over his head, we see Roger just grab it and tear it with immense strength. He doesn't even look like it looks like tissue paper to him. And as he tears the jacket apart, he turns around with this kind of laconic look to you and just sort of says like, "Well, what were you trying to do there, huh? You trying to pull one over on old Ruddy Roger?"
Her eyes wide open, mouth agape. Uh, oh my god. Um, she doesn't even answer the question. Like she's just so like
You
avoidant of that.
got a nice shade of hair. And we see as he smiles, his fangs show, and he starts to make the same face like he's siphoning. And you see out of the corner of your eye, as if your hair is blowing with the wind, a thin stream of the red of your hair beginning to head towards Roger's mouth. As Teresa turns, she says, "I'm ready," and you look over your shoulder. We see as she primes the thing with an enormous wrench she's found from who knows where, pulled out of her back pocket, and you go to jump out of the way.
All right.
She pulls it, and as it does, the water comes cascading out in a huge torrent, just as Roger sort of smacking his lips. I do love redheads. And then he gets hit with this water and sent shooting backwards into a brick wall. He thuds into it and makes an imprint of himself directly in the bricks. And then he sort of like shakes his head and he looks down at his body, and the water is starting to drain the color from his clothes. Roger looks furious. He's taken one harm, and as he does, he pulls himself from the bricks. He says, "Now that was a nasty trick." And as he goes to lift up one of the cars and huck it at the two of you, what do you want to do, Juno?
I think she's going to run towards Teresa to get her out of the way because she's probably just
Protect
hand and
someone
wrench, you know?
is a great idea here. However, you have a -1 to tough.
Yeah, these rolls are not looking good either. So, but that was a great roll. So here we go. That's a 11 minus 1, 10.
11 -1 for 10. We see as you manage to protect her from harm. On a 10 plus in protect someone, you protect them okay, but you'll suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get, and you choose an extra effect. You can suffer less harm, -1 harm. All impending danger is now focused on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
I think I would like to. Okay, trying to think if this would work out. Is he? So he threw the car, but the water's still spraying at him, right?
He threw the car, and he does seem like he has taken both some damage and some of the color from his body is affected by the washing blue. So you've managed to do two things at once here. You've weakened him and you've hurt him, but he's still in play for now.
Okay. I think I'll suffer a little bit less harm.
All right, a smart move here. As the car comes crashing down, you get glanced by it. You and Teresa both would have been flattened. Instead, you take a tumble, and as you do, it hits you in the shoulder and dislocates your shoulder. You're going to take 2 harm, and for a moment, you'll take a -1 to any physical rolls. However, into town like a blur, a specific cartoon character with a red costume and lightning bolts on its head darts in. We see as our curse eater, Ducky, makes their way into town. Ducky, you are a blur of movement, and then as you come into town, you feel that ability beginning to sort of settle out of your bloodstream. You don't have long. But as you get into the center, you can see Juno, gray hair, fully gray hair now. The chief, the police chief, Teresa Alvarez, and another one of these vampires, a tall, lanky one with a tint of red. Blue is right on your tail. Pinky, what do you want to do with Ducky here?
I think I'd like to see if I kind of want to do like a fake out to get Blue to crash into something.
Ooh, nice. All right. I love that idea. Let's see. How about we give that either how about an act under pressure?
My dice are doing great today. I got a 13.
13 is good. We see as you roll into town, describe it for us. How do you manage to make Blue run into something she didn't mean to?
I think it's just sort of your classic, like, you turn one way and then you like whip around in another direction once they have committed to that direction.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I do think that Ducky is taunting Blue the whole time, like, you're not so fast, you can't come get me. Like, I'm right here. If you could speed up a little bit, you'd catch up. Easy peasy.
A dangerous game, but I like where your head's at. We see as Ducky managed to dodge, and we watch Blue run face first into a brick building. As she does, with that 13 and your added benefit, we see as she pulls herself off, the red seems to have worn some of the blue off of her outfit. She's taken 1 harm, and she's weakened. As you run into town, you see Juno across the way. What do you say to our searcher in our first moments together?
I think Ducky can see she's sort of facing off with a person that seems similar with ours, right?
Yep.
All right.
And you can see that Juno, who you know has sort of been saw you unleash your powers once, has gone fully gray. That vampire has siphoned the color from her hair.
I think Ducky's just gonna ask, did you do something with your hair? It looks different from the last time I saw you.
She's very frazzled from, her shoulder being dislocated. And she's like, wait, what? And she pulls a tuft of her hair in front of her in eyesight. And she's like, eyes wide open, mouth agape. Oh my god! My hair already looks bad as is! And she looks up at
Ruddy
Ducky.
looks at you and she says, "Nah, it looks much better now." And he licks his lips and he says, "Hey, you got some red hair too, don't you, little friend?" "Well, I guess I might be eating good today." And Ruddy starts to walk towards Ducky. Blue sort of pulls herself from the wall, looks around, and sort of sees Juno and the fire chief, and says, "Well, we don't have much time left. We better be getting back to the hideout, Ruddy." And you see him sort of turn and go, "Aw, His hair looks so tasty. And she says, Nah, Idris is waiting. Let's get moving. And you see the two of them are going to turn and try to leave. Ducky, Juno, would either of you like to do something here?
Let's see. Could I read a bad situation?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Give it plus sharp. Our mundane and monstrous are walking onto the scene are running onto the scene right now. I assume Bill a little bit behind Marcus as our
That is very fair.
our
Yes.
20-year-old versus our old retired Uber driver. But the two of you are in sight of this scene as it's happening. You'll be here just seconds. Juno, what'd you roll?
I rolled an 8.
And it'll get you one question on the Read a Bad Situation list for the first time of the mystery. Best way in or out, dangers we haven't noticed, biggest threat, most vulnerable to me, or the best way to protect the victims.
I think I want to know what's vulnerable to me. Because I know that they're weak against water, but how can I guess the way that Gina's thinking is she wants to know if she could leech more color from them.
In this case, I think you want to use a most vulnerable to me. So kind of looking at like what you might be able to use your powers or abilities to do here.
Yes.
Well, you're as a searcher. There's parts of the mystery that are more vulnerable to you. These monsters themselves may not be. However, what I will say with this is you've figured out Ruddy's weakness. And you know that he has the classic vampire weakness of running water. However, something's up with Blue. She just peeled off some of her color onto the building, and maybe she's reacting poorly to the color red. She may also have a traditional vampire weakness of some sort. You don't know what it is yet.
Okay. Well, she's gonna give this a shot, and she's gonna yell at Ducky. Oh my God, Ducky just pushed them together. They're opposites.
Don't need to tell me twice. Can I, like, tackle them into each other?
Oh, you can certainly try. Let's see. I think this sounds like you're trying to... you're not trying to do harm, per se. You're trying to kind of change the situation of the battlefield. Is that correct?
Yeah, that sounds good.
In that case, go ahead and roll and act under pressure.
Got an 8.
+2 to cool, 6 on your dice, an 8 is a mixed success. A worse move, a hard outcome, or a price to pay. A price to pay, first and foremost, I'll give you a perfect success on this move, but I will take a hard move after. Or you can have some harm to yourself as you tackle these into these people, and an unexpected side effect, but you will do as you intended and tackle them together.
I think I'll take the side effect. Sounds like a fun thing to have.
As you tackle one, which one do you touch first?
I'm going to touch the red one. He looks more movable.
Ironically, the stronger of the two, Ruddy still manages to fall into Blue as you tackle them two together. As you do, we watch as when they hit, they both seem to sort of, the colors from them seem to immediately start to bleed into each other, and we watch as instead of turning red and blue to purple, it seems to almost turn red and blue to gray. And as they contact from where they are, the gray seems to be spreading over the top of them, weakening them, taking the colors from their bodies. However, our Curse Eater is going to take a negative side effect here. As you tackle them into the two of them, you also sort of start to see yourself lose color. And until your color is returned, you are not able to use your moves. You'll have to use some magic or figure out a way to get your color back. We watch as all three of them turn gray. in a big old pile on the ground, and then we hear the kind of classic old Western whistle. As up on top of the one of the buildings, we see a figure silhouetted against the sun. The cloudy sky above him gives him a backdrop of fluff and cloud and clouder, and we can see as another vampire makes their appearance known. For the first time, the whole gang together, we see on the rooftop as Idris Grease, our gang leader, looks down on the lot of you and he says, "What's the meaning of this?" And as he floats down off of the top of the building, Marcus and Bill enter the scene. 3 vampires, 4 hunters, just a few minutes left to break. Who wants to take the final move before we take our intermission?
Go ahead, Marcus.
Oh, have I been volunteered? Awesome. So as we're about to have this face off, are there like civilians around us right now?
There's a couple of watchers looking through slatted blinds, poking up behind cars. We can see the angry man from earlier in the episode and the sheriff are watching from inside the cafe nearby, just like coffees in hand, like, oh, this is getting good.
Okay. So if I'm not sure that the way is completely cleared, I will throw my hood up a little bit, and my fellow hunters may see me bulk up a little bit. And any visible skin, you'll sort of see like hair and claws kind of come up from my hands, and I will yell up as he floats down, "Okay, little man, let's have a conversation."
Idris looks at you across the way, and we see the space open up between the two of you. He floats down and settles his first foot, and he says, "Ah, of course, a town full of do-gooders. Just like it always has to be. Well, well, well. You're not going to stop us this time." And we watch as Idris goes to put his hands out. He puts both of his hands out in front of him and he says, "I'm Idris Grease, and we're the Grayscale gang. What are you going to do about it?" Marcus, what do you want to do here as now he's finally touched down?
Yeah, I'm just gonna rush him. I don't recall anybody asking. And I'm just gonna run towards him, and I'm gonna try to jump onto him and dig my claws into his chest is my plan. We'll see how that goes.
Roll to kick some ass. Last roll before the break. Let's see what you got.
Okay. Do I still have that -1 going forward?
You used your -1 forward, so no problem. You're using
Okay,
your unholy
fantastic.
strength, so it'll be plus
I am
weird.
indeed.
3 to the dice.
Okay. I rolled a 9, so that is a 12.
A 12. You and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other, and you get an added benefit. You completely hold the advantage. All hunters involved in the fight get +1. You suffer no harm at all. Your attack inflicts double the normal harm, or your attack drives the enemy away in a rout.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a point here. Again, reminder, this bypasses armor, and I just want to try and dig my claws in, drag him into the ground. There are always good guys to stand against people like you.
Oh, a werewolf Batman, am I right? You're going to do double the harm, so that's 4 harm, ignore armor? Sheesh. Oh wait, no, you said you're going to take no harm, is that right?
No, I want to cause as much harm to him as possible.
Okay, I thought so. So 4 harm,
Yep.
ignore harmer. We see as he, however, he says, "Is that how it's going to be?" As you clobber him good, he picks himself up, he wipes a little bit of blood off his lip, and he looks at you, and then he says, "Well, let's see how you like this." And he turns himself to mist. He coalesces around you, and you take 2 harm, ongoing area as you start to choke, and the color starts to sap from your clothes. That's where we're going to take a quick break. Marcus is in the cloud of Idrid Skriss's vampire powers, and the other 3 hunters are readying their moves. For now, let's take a quick 15-minute break. 5, soft 10 for our hunters. We'll be back chatting and kind of catching up before we get back into the game at the top of the hour. Grab a fresh bowl of cereal, top off your coffee, use the bathroom, fix your footy pajama, butt flap, whatever you have to do. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
See you in just a few.
Hello. Yes, we can
You
hear
just
you.
fine. Okay. Hello, hello.
3. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Saturday Morning Cartoons. It may be bridging closer to the afternoon for some of you, but for others, if you still have a cup of coffee, I cheers to thee. Mine has a llama on the front and a tiny llama on the back. Could be an alpaca. Don't quote me on it. My players, before we dig back into the adventure, just a quick description and name of your characters each, if you don't mind, for anyone freshly joining us. We'll start with Pinky. Can you please describe your Curse Eater?
Hello, everybody. Ducky the Curse Eater, our happy-go-lucky guy who loves to eat curses and food.
Curses, food, and sweet things in particular. Wonderful. Juno, what do we need, or Quad, what do we need to know about our searcher, Juno?
Juno is this very sporty, stylish, bookish girl. She just it, she just really wants to like live life, and despite all the craziness that is like happening around her, she's like, okay, monsters, but also I need to get like my cold brew, you know.
Absolutely. Kevin, tell us about Marcus.
Marcus is about 5'11". He is in his early to mid 20s. Sort of lanky, always seen wearing a gray hoodie, but at the moment he's a little bit furry and trying to throw down with some bad guys.
And a very clean switch to your new avatar, by the way, if I may add and recognize game. All right, and how about for Bill Callahan? What do we need to know about our mundane?
Bill is a 63-year-old retired Uber driver. He is just pulling up into town and very confused about what is going on. Sits about 5'6", with a big bald head, but covered by a cap and some big old Coke glasses.
Coke bottle lenses for seeing strange things around town when they need seeing. I'll be darned. We jump into our scene here in the middle of a very stressful situation. In the center of town, there's a showdown. We can see Marcus. He's mostly transformed, hulking. His body is barely being held by this tailored hoodie he wears, and we can see the snout just beginning to pierce the outside of it, making him visible. He is surrounded by a cloud of vampire, a multicolored rainbow glitter cloud of Idris Grease. The vampire gang leader is currently choking you out in the center of the street. On one side, we see Ducky and Juno and Teresa Alvarez, the fire chief. Sort of just at the edge of things, we see Bill standing there, just having arrived at Marcus's tail, and we can see 3 vampires. On the side, we have Blue, who's mostly gray at this point, tangled up into the limbs of Ruddy Roger, who is also kind of pulling himself out of the rest of you. He is mostly gray, and then tangled up inside of them is Ducky, who has most of their clothes turned gray, and as you press your hand on Blue's back to push yourself out of the pile, you too start to lose your color. A strange and uncomfortable sensation. I will say, you also start to feel this lingering emotional numbness as the gray seeps into your actual skin. I'm going to give the baton to Bill. Bill, as we turn to the first thing you'd like to do here, we can see that the situation is grave. What do you want to do?
Bill, I would say brushes up, but more eventually gets up there with a sore knee and limping his way up, looks at the situation completely agog, and wants to investigate a mystery here.
Roll plus sharp. Investigate a mystery. Let's see what the heck is going on here.
That is a 7+1.
A 7 plus 1 for an 8 would be a mixed success. Any other hunters want to try to help out? We would need 2 to get this up to a full roll here. Does anyone have cool to help? In that case, Bill, you're left alone with one question.
Oh,
You've got...
sorry.
No worries. Do you want to go, Quack?
Yeah. I don't have cool, but let's give it a shot anyway.
Roll them digits. Let's see what the
That's
bones tell us.
That's an 8.
An 8 will give him a +1, but you'll expose yourself to danger. I love it. Marcus is a bit indisposed, Ducky. Is there any way you could potentially help from the pile of limbs?
I think Ducky's a little preoccupied with the limb pile to help out.
Okay. In that case, we're still going to go for a 9 here, but what I'll say is this. Teresa is also going to join you, Bill, as someone who seeks to protect the innocent here. You, unfortunately, fall firmly into that category. Go ahead and roll another d6, please.
Sure. Let's see. That's a 6.
You may take the higher 2 of the total 3 you rolled, so I'm sure that increases the result.
All right. Yes, that would bring us up. So that gives me a hold 2.
Hold 2. What is your total number? Is it above 12?
Oh, it's above 12.
In that case...
It would have been a 4 and a 6 plus 1. No, so 11.
2 questions. What would you like to know?
Well, with a +1, though, from the help, would get me to 12.
On a 12 plus, one of these questions can be off of the list.
Okay. We gotta go first with what can hurt it. We know about water. Is there anything else?
What can hurt it is a great question, and I'd like to give you a general or a specific answer. Would you like to point that at one particular vampire, or would you like to kind of point it at the pack?
I would prefer to know about this misty fellow, and what particularly might hurt him.
We see, as you're sort of examining him, his monologue to Marcus plays in the street, and you're listening to him sort of like talking about what their gang does in classic cartoon style. Marcus says, this town is so full of fake art, fake artists. Anybody can paint in color. Real expression only comes through black and white. And you get the sense that Marcus, he specifically seems to be allergic to bright colors. He feeds on them. They are his source of power. But if you can inflict them upon him, much like with Ruddy and Roger and their opposites, he's certainly weak to that if it follows the pattern.
Excellent. Excellent. And if I can ask a question off the list,
yeah,
I would
one
say when I ran up, I heard Idris talking about getting out of here. Is there anything that they have on them or anything around them that would indicate where their hideout or their place would be?
Beautiful. As Bill sort of like thinks that to himself, he looks around and sees, first and foremost, that the town has a couple of pretty big red and blue landmarks. If you were going to try to get Ruddy Rogers' color back, you might head to the lighthouse or the mill. If you were trying to get Blue's color back, you might head for the observatory. Either one of those could be where they might go next, but you get the sense that's not where they've been staken out. You look at them and you see their vibe, and there's really only one place in town that's both outside and also close enough to come in to cause mischief, and it's the graveyard. And if you were a vampire, that's probably where you'd hang out too.
Have to be, right?
Bill, what do you want to do with that information? What's your next move?
I think Bill is going to look around. How is how are the people around looking? The non-hunter people here. You had mentioned there's a lot of people now staring at this situation.
I would say that there are more civilians than participants at this point, looking out from various stores. I mean, it was a full Art Town square, right? So there was probably a half dozen people already on the street when this started, and now that there's a commotion, doubled or tripled that number. Civilians everywhere, absolutely in danger, Bill.
Perfect.
You're one of them. You're one of them, right? Like
Actually,
Teresa's trying to protect
extremely
you.
fair. Then I think I'm going to use my skill of trust me. When I tell a normal person the truth in order to protect them from danger, roll plus charm. On a 10 plus, they'll do what you say, no questions asked. And
Wow.
hopefully I roll, we can talk about the others in case I roll poorly there.
Roll your dice and hold it.
Okay,
We
perfect.
see you start to pull yourself out of the limbs, Ducky. You can see that you've definitely weakened these vampires. They're not as strong while they're getting up from this. Grayed out as they are, Blue gets up and she sort of wavers like she's done 100 push-ups and she can't do another one. And we see Ruddy Roger kind of like start to get up and stretch his back, and his muscles literally go downwards instead of bulging up like they did before. But you are also Gray. What is our Curse Eater going to do here?
I think in this situation, I need to investigate what's going on with me.
A phenomenon investigation. Excellent choice. That'll still be plus sharp.
All right, I got a 9.
A 9 is a pretty close to fully successful roll. Would anyone like to try to help out? Marcus, still indisposed, but you could use your action here to help out if you don't mind taking 1 harm. What would you like to do, Mark?
Trying to think of how I can help her. Well, let's see if I can sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. So I need to get out of this cloud vamp. So I would like to try and push myself away from this cloud, and I would and I would like to try and like pull her aside with me and try and give her some cover. Ideally, I would like to try and use my monstrous ability of no limits to try and make this huge leap, hoping to get away from this cloud. And what that does is it would let me push my physical body past its limits and roll with weird.
Interesting. A push to do something incredible. Let's go ahead and roll those dice. You've got a +3 to weird, and the bones say?
The bones say 12.
A 12 is good. Okay. So, does this, let's see, I don't know if this move has a 12 plus effect here. Do you have it in front of you? Does it have an additional effect on a +12?
For advanced, if you are up, this isn't advanced for my stage yet, but what I have written is on the 12 plus, I can continue acting at my body's limits for 30 seconds. No, I'm sorry, the regular rule, excuse me. On the 10 plus, my body, your body obeys your will, the limits of physical possibility for a moment. Means conceivably possible for a human. So lifting an SUV, jumping over a truck, punching through a wall, that sort of thing. So great acts of physical prowess.
You rolled enough to make this go perfectly well. Describe it for us. As you leap for, you're also going to get a +1 to that investigate a mystery roll, bringing Ducky's roll up to a 12, or up to a success at 10. So describe it for us. How do you get out of the cloud and help at the same action?
Fantastic. So I sort of am like coughing again from this cloud vamp, and I sort of hold my breath, crouch down for a little bit. I see Ducky out of the corner of my eye, and then I make this crazy leap out. Gas trails behind me as I escape this cloud to try and recover. I will grab Ducky with me, sort of fireman's carry, and that will hopefully give him like a chance to sort of survey things as we're in this bullet time situation as he is soaring up into the air behind whatever cover I can see.
Wow. Ducky, with consent, please describe how you're going to get pulled into the air by Marcus's move, and then also, what would you like to know as you take a clean assessment of the situation behind you?
Yeah, I think as Ducky's being
You're Gray!
thrown into the air, he is, seeing things from a new angle, very literally. and just, maybe having a perspective that he didn't think about before when he was too close to it.
You just sort of like, you look down. What would you like to know?
My questions from the investigating phenomena is, how is this phenomenon doing this? And then the other one would be, what could fix it, cure it, or slow it down?
The vampires are siphoning the color from you, and they themselves seem to gather color from what they eat or consume. You actually now seem to understand that they are likely gray most of the time. They are grayscale when they haven't eaten. And as you kind of tumbled into them, there's something about the way you're constructed or built, or you're not like raised or grown like a regular person. You're a little different. Whatever happened in that pile, you've lost some of your color. How you can fix it, cure it, or slow it down. It will return to you over time, slowly. But if you're looking to try to fix it fast, you're going to have to slay the vampire that took it from you. And you can see Ruddy Roger is pulling himself up out of the pile as well, seemingly just a dopey. The whole gang kind of looks like a couple of teens that are just causing mischief. You're gonna have to kill that guy to get your color back quick. There's always magical loopholes here, but those are the ways you can see right away.
Okay, good to know.
Juno, we see you. I think you have. Those are your two questions, so that's good. Juno, we see you as you watch Marcus leap from the cloud of O Vamp, grab Ducky from the pile O limbs, and get them both to safety. We see our searcher. What are you doing in your scene? Describe it for us.
Well, she's clutching her arm for one, but I think she's trying to look at Idris and figure out what kind of color work she could do with him.
Sure. In that case, why don't we roll investigate a mystery?
All right. That is 5 + 2, 7.
Also, Juno, you have a free question the first time you see. Do you want to try to? Let's use Occam's broadsword here. Why don't we? Will you read that move out for us, please?
Okay, when you first encounter something strange, you may ask the keeper what sort of thing it is. They'll tell you if it, or the cause, is natural, an unnatural creature, or a weird phenomenon or person. You gain +1 forward dealing with it.
Wonderful. Obviously, what's happening to Ducky is a phenomenon, but it is caused by an unnatural creature, and you can tell that these are siphoning something in addition to just color. Emotions seem to be coming with them. These vampires take all the color out of all aspects of life. You also get to ask a couple of questions. What did you roll in your investigate a mystery? You get a +1 from that Occam's broadsword.
Okay, so now that is +3, so I got an 8.
8 is good. One question. What do you want to ask?
I think I know what hurts the others, but I want to specifically know what hurts Idris, like, color-wise.
Juno, you are the smart one in this group in a lot of ways, and you begin to put it together that while he's siphoning color from paint, and if you were to combine lots of colors in paint, it would muddy it, brown it, blacken it, get it to dark shades. Light does the opposite. A nice fake fluorescent bulb or something along those lines, and you feel like you could get every color on Idris all at once. He doesn't seem to be responding too poorly to the sunlight. None of them are. They're fine out in the sun. But a good fake lamp? That'll do it. As you do this, we watch as Idris reappears. He spins around in a circle of glitter and color and lands on the street. He says, "Blue, Ruddy, let's get out of here. I'm not spending another moment with these punks." And we see as he starts to leave. Is anyone going to do anything to stop them? Or are we going to let them go for now?
Bill's not doing anything.
I'm kind of banged up. I think I need a minute to recover. I'm gonna let him go.
Perfect.
Yeah, same.
I'd like to see if Juno can she has like a scrunchie on her. If she could kind of just muddy the colors somehow,
Try to dye it. Get some.
yeah.
Okay. Do you can dip it in some muck, or grab a couple berries from a bush. What are you gonna do with it?
I think she'll do all of the above. I imagine when they were ducking, they went into some grass. So she's just kind of smearing her scrunchie in the dirt, in the grass, maybe some berries right by her.
It's
And
multicolored and it's certainly dirtier now. You wouldn't want to put it back in your hair, but it looks like you have it in your hand. A little fly drifts around it, and we see like a stick poking out of the side, like a stain of mud on one side. But it's definitely multicolored now.
she is just grimacing at this thing that she's created, and she looks up at yeah, Idris, and she's like, "Take this, you cringy hipster," and shoots her scrunchie at him.
What? He starts to turn in slow-mo. We spin into bullet time, and your scrunchie springs off of your finger. Go ahead and roll to kick some ass here.
That's a 2
Ooh.
after the.
As you go to pull and shoot this scrunchie, we suddenly see as Idris catches it in one hand, his gray skin starts to sizzle, and then he looks down at it. He says, "Colorful." And as it touches, he seems to almost absorb it into the flesh of his palm. When he does, he kind of like, "Ugh, that's gross color. No, I need something more pure." He drops it on the ground, and then he looks around at the lot of you and he says, "You," and he points at Teresa. As he disappears in a flash of mist, glitter, and color, he appears beside her, and we watch as he places his hands on her jacket. And then suddenly it's all of the red, all of the gold, all of the color, and not just one or another. And then it starts to pull out of her as well. Is anyone going to try to stop him before he pulls the color from her flesh?
So much for that rest. Yeah, I'm absolutely hopping back over the car. I'm going to try, I guess, to sort of run straight at him and sort of shoulder check him away from her is my hope.
No roll needed. He is still readying himself to leave, and you put yourself in the way. So go ahead and describe what you do to deter him.
So yeah, exactly that. I will. Oh man, I leave Ducky. I hop back over the car, full charge, hulking werewolf form, and as I get close to Idris, I sort of duck in, sort of like trying to make an American football tackle, shoulder check into him. Yeah, shoulder check into him, hoping to get some distance, and I will stand between him and the fire chief.
Perfect. We see you shunt him out of the way. He goes tumbling to the ground. Like any bully, he gets himself back up and looks down at you and says, "This isn't over." And then poof, he's gone, and his goons both disappear into the shade of the alley behind them. We are safe at last. Stillness comes over the street. People cheer as the crowd goes wild, and then Art Town kind of just breaks into crowded murmurs, the low roar of a lot of people talking about the same event. Our hunters come together in the streets. Teresa looks down at her jacket and she's distraught. She says, "You said it was going to take the color from this, and it did. Now I'm not even really a fire chief. How is anyone supposed to know who I am?"
Quick thing, as people are sort of reacting to her, I've kind of dropped to like one knee. I shrink down a little bit and go back to my human form, hopefully before too many people come up and realize what they're really seeing.
Okay, good moment. Bill?
Uh, Chief, if you see a fire, just go and put it out. There won't be any questions.
She she sort of like looks at you just like shocked that you would say such a bold but true thing, and then she kind of like nods and chuckles and says, "I guess you're right. I'm sorry. I should have done more there. Thank you so much, everyone. Sir, are you okay?" And she turns to Ducky. Ducky, you are gray, and all of the relevant eyes on the street turn towards you immediately. What do we see?
I think Ducky is a little dazed, but he's gonna shake it off. And to everybody that is like watching him, he's gonna be like, "Well, that was just the first day. Catch us tomorrow again, everybody. We're the Echo Stage Ensemble. We do acts every day around this time. Just meet us back here. Thanks, everybody."
Go ahead and roll with the charm person to manipulate someone here, plus charm. Let's see if you can get the crowd out of the way.
Got a 10.
A 10. You disperse. Suddenly the crowd's tone changes to like this conversation about avant-garde theater and like, you know, good role play and uh improv characters, and they're like, "Wow, that was really good." Like kind of like a flash mob, and we see the crowd disperse. You're alone in the streets. What do you say as you turn back to the people who stay?
I definitely don't feel so good.
You don't look so good either. I'm assuming you didn't start Gray.
Nope, I'm pretty sure I wasn't born like this, but
Well,
maybe I just need to eat something.
yeah.
I can help you with that. So I'd like to, I guess, take Ducky. I'll put like and one of his arms over my shoulder, and I'll like walk with him back to the diner to try and get some food in him. As we're going, if you're okay with that, because I got a little hurt, I'd like to use my unquenchable vitality to see if I can heal myself a little bit as we go and sort of give Ducky a chance to recover. Um,
Yeah.
so what that is, for a monstrous, when I have taken harm, I can heal myself, and I'm rolling plus cool. In my case, that is a 1. And let's see how that goes. Okay, so I rolled a 9. That brings me to 10.
Woo!
So
All
on
right.
a 10 plus, I can heal 2 harm and stabilize my injuries, which is incredibly helpful because I was unstable. So I am back down to 2 harm.
Wow, an impressive move. We take a quick breather. I think everybody gets a chance to do something of that ilk, and what I'll say is roll to act under pressure to try to help out Ducky with some grub. If you get a 10 plus, we'll give a +1 harm. We'll talk about a mixed success.
Okay.
At the diner, you're whipping up burgers, serving a feast, and we'll see if it adds any color back to the boy.
What was the stat again? Act under pressure?
So that'll be plus cool.
Okay, fantastic. So I rolled a 9. That is a 10.
Another 10. Well rolled. We see a perfect success. Ducky, how many harm do you have?
I actually don't have any harm because I didn't really fight anyone. I ran away from Blue, and then when I crashed the two together, my downfall was that I turned gray.
In this case, we see as the burger starts to, or what food does Marcus put in front of our curse eater?
I would ask whatever he's into. I'm trying to do this for you. So anything that you like, I'm happy to do. If you're a dessert freak, I will pop every cake and pie in the place in front of you.
Yeah, like a banana split with like bacon strips and fried egg thrown in there and extra whipped cream.
I'm gonna pause a little bit at the nature of that, but the customer is always right. I'm absolutely gonna whip that hot mess up. Yeah.
We see it plop down in front of you, and we see a quick moment between the two. Juno, where did you head after this? Are we all headed to the cafe? Where are Juno, Bill, and Teresa going?
Oh, most certainly headed back to the cafe.
Perfect. Juno?
I think after Juno asks Teresa to relocate her shoulder, she tells Bill, like, Bill, do you think you could save me a copy? I think I need to go look for, like, a Jackson Pollock, like, copycat, you know?
Yeah, sure. To deal with your hair? Didn't look like that when I drove you in yesterday.
She kind of, like, there's a tear kind of, like, beginning. She's tearing up, and she's like, I know that Ruddy Rogers guy. What a jerk!
Yeah, hey, it looks good. You know, I've been stuck with gray hair for about 20 years, so believe me, you get used to it.
I don't want to get used to it yet. And she kind of like huffs off.
Runs off. Yeah, yeah. As our hunters split 3-1, 3 to the cafe, and 1, I assume, headed to the mill or one of the other galleries in Art Town. Is that right, Qua?
Yes.
Let's take a look at the clues. So we've seen the diner and the mill at this point. We've encountered them face to face. We've also got 3 of our trading cards here. I'm going to add something to the clue table now, as we can see as you walk around town. You can see that there is a disturbing amount of recognizing colors stolen. All throughout the paintings that are displayed in the galleries in town, their red and blues are gone completely, and random colors have been taken from other things. We can see as looking at the town itself, all of the artists around town are in an outrage. A theft has occurred here. And Juno, as you make your way along, where do you head to next?
Is there anything of note that she could see on these street side stalls?
Color that's left behind? None in the streets. Not a single painting has all of its colors left. You'll have to head to the gallery.
Okay, so that's where she's gonna head.
We see you step into the mill. The historical society greets you, and as you head up the stairs, you're handed a little ticket to the gallery. They're starting to kind of prepare it for use. The people don't seem to know what's happening outside. Do you want to warn them?
Yes, that's exactly what she's gonna do.
A quick line, and you've got them sort of on their edge. You head upstairs, and looking around, you see a painting that's perfect. All the colors still left in it. Big canvas. What does it look like? Is it the same one as Ducky's favorite, or is it a different one?
I think it's a different one. It's a lot more expressive, like just with the paint splatter. It's just very much like a collage.
What are you gonna do with it?
And she turns. Is there a curator?
There is indeed. We can see the older woman who touched Betty, who touched Ducky's back earlier, sort of walks over as you look around. Is there any way I can be of help?
Do you think this is on sale?
Well, sale. They're certainly selling it. I don't know if it's reduced price.
Well, I feel like I really need something like this. Do you think we could reduce the price?
Go ahead and roll to manipulate someone here, plus charm.
That is 6. But
oh no. Is it time for luck?
I think it's a time for luck.
In this case, she looks at you and sees the wear and tear on you, your arm hanging, the serious look in your eyes. All she'll need from you is to tell her what you're going to do with it. If you're honest with her, she'll give it to you for free. If you tell her a good story, she'll lower the price.
Let's see. I think she wants to tell like a good story. I feel
In that
like
case-
she can't.
Go.
Yeah. She just goes on like, I've been needing something like this in my apartment. My aunt said it's gonna bring a lot of good feng shui, and you know, you really need that sort of thing when you're just like in your living space. You know, like it brings so much peace.
Of course. Well, yes, I'll reduce the price for you, and she gives you a number that's reasonable enough for you to actually afford purchasing it. We see you walking from the museum with it under your arm. We turn back to the cafe. Our hunters, while Juno has purchased a painting, have rested, taken some medical supplies, and done with their health what they can. We do see a little bit of rosy cheek beginning to come back to our curse eater, as the food seems to be accelerating the process of getting things back to normal. You don't feel much of anything yet, but you can feel a glow of something, maybe contentment, inside of you right now, Ducky. The three of you are preparing. We see a montage, a single image section of the three of you doing something to prepare. Quick scenes. What do we see? Let's start with Bill.
Bill has his roadmap out, and he's pointing out the spaces that he thinks that they might be going. The observatory and the mill. Can't remember the other one that fit in with red, but also a big circle around the graveyard.
You certainly would know that the one you spotted earlier was the lighthouse, a big red stripe around its belly. So you have that one marked as well on the map. Great. We see that scrawled across the table. Marcus?
I think if we've had a chance to talk about the weaknesses that they found out, because all I did was fight folks. So I would try. Let's see. Maybe if there are storage bags or things like that, I'd be looking for bags, jackets, anything that's red or blue, blankets, tablecloths. That I might be able to use if I get up close to one of them. I can use to sort of like wrap them up and hopefully slow them down enough to be stopped. That type of thing.
Okay. The all the weaknesses have been shared between you. We're fully caught up in everything we need to be. We see Juno walk in the door with a painting underarm. Marcus, we see you preparing that way. Just kind of paint us a scene. What do you do? Who do you do it with?
I would. I guess I would check with Maggie. It's like, hey, listen, can we borrow this for a little bit? I just need to use this for a little bit. We'll get them right back to you as soon as we're done. So I'm like looking for storage areas, anything that would fit the description that I could use for color-wise to sort of like bind these vampires up.
She nods. Yes, of course. We've got a couple of things in the back. Let's go check it out. And we see the two of you rooting through supplies. You find some electrical supplies from the last time they had the wiring done. You find, a couple of tools that have like the red rubber handles or the colored rubber handles on them. And it's not, it's a hodgepodge of accessories, the junk drawer of weapons here. But you've cobbled together a small Batman tool belt of different things that are at your disposal to use. Ducky, what do we see?
I think with a little bit more energy, Ducky ran outside for a bit and went around pocketing people's paintbrushes. You won't need that for a moment. And he's like, I'll bring it back. It might not be yours, but it's hard to keep.
Are you a ghost? We see them just seeing you in gray, just like, oh. They everybody lets you take the supplies you take. What all are you gathering?
He's taking the paintbrushes because vampires, you need something to stake them with. This seems reasonable. And he tells everybody, catch us tomorrow for our next act. May or may not return this. Thanks.
Thanks indeed. As you're going along, you can also see, and you've gathered one of the hidden clue stickers here, that you've got a few tubes of paint that have been siphoned dry. We can see as you gather one of them up, you squirt it out, and it's still a perfectly good gray paint. It isn't supposed to be, but you've got it in hand. Well played. Juno, you come in with the painting, and we're ready to rock. Is there any of the motif, like, who takes a short scene at the lighthouse if it's not all four hunters?
There was one more thing I wanted to gather, if it was possible, while we're cutting scenes.
Bring it on, Bill.
Is there like a camping supply store here?
I would imagine it's in the wilderness enough to have something small, maybe a military surplus store.
Perfect. What I'm looking for is the most powerful flashlights, or like a lantern that
Nice.
you open that's gonna just burst out with light.
A classic mundane move that you do not have is an oops. So I will need to make you roll for this. Let's go ahead and roll
Totally
to act
cool.
under pressure to see if you can find what you're looking for.
Perfect. And act under pressure is
Plus cool.
Cool. All right.
How cool is Bill?
Not very. Total of 6.
Does anyone want to help out here?
I've been in town the longest I think of. Is there some other store I could direct him to if the main surplus is out right now? I know it's in season. People are camping. So if this guy's out, you can absolutely try this other store down the street around the corner.
Marcus, roll plus cool to help out here. Let's see if we can get Bill up to a 7. Callahan, you can go ahead and mark that experience either way.
Perfect. Thank you.
So I rolled a 7. That brings me up to an 8 to help out.
All right, that's not a total failure. It's a 7 to 9 for mixed success. And you will expose yourself to danger, Marcus, the first instance we get. Bill, it isn't in the first store. You actually come back with one of those keychain lights first, and everybody looks at you and just shakes their head like, that's not going to do it. So Marcus takes you under wing, and you go across town to a better store and come back with a good industrial flashlight. It was a pretty penny, but you feel like it was going to be worth it. Worth it through and through. Our hunters prepared: belts, flashlight, painting, paintbrushes. We see as you begin to make your way around town. Now, it's too late to go to the lighthouse, so as you exit the diner, you see that the stripe has been consumed from it. It is a perfectly white lighthouse now, with a single line cut through it, as if there was once a colored stripe making its way down like a barbershop pole. You look at each other and know Ruddy Roger is back in the fight. As the four of you make your way towards the graveyard, who takes the lead as we head through the graveyard gates?
Well, I guess this will work well for multiple reasons. If it's just the four of us, I will I'm sorry, we have things to do. Click. I will switch back into my monstrous form. So I guess I'm sort of, as we get closer in the cover of night, I'm trying to sort of sniff the air, see if I can get a line on where they might be holed up. And my hope for this is that I can use my shapeshifter ability to add to my investigative mystery.
I love it. With a keen wolven nose and better than human wolven ears, I assume you can have that. Your shapeshifter ability gives you +1 to investigate a mystery when using one of those form senses. Go ahead and give it a roll. That takes your sharp from 1 to 2.
Fantastic. So that's a 7 on the dice, so an 8. Oh, I'm sorry. +2. 10. I'm sorry.
A 10 is a perfect success. So
wait, no, I'm sorry. I've not had enough coffee. I'm sorry. 7 + 2 is 9. My apologies. 9. Still mixed.
That's all right. It's early for math. I understand. One question you get as you approach Marcus.
Let's see what I want for my mystery. I guess I gotta go with where did it go?
Where did it go? Into the cemetery you see as sort of all of the tombstones from this place are kind of just like splattered with remnants of color, like they've been shooting paintballs in here. You actually hear the rattle of something like that, and the laughter of teens as the sort of the of a paintball gun goes off, and then in the distance you hear the splatter of those balls against a gravestone. They're here. For certain, and with that, you get a sense they're in the back left side of the graveyard. You can likely even approach with a keen foot. Who would like to roll to read a bad situation?
I think Ducky will try to read a bad situation.
Okay, give it a roll. Plus sharp. Tell us what them bones say.
He got a 7.
7 is a mixed success. You get one question from the list. What would you like to know?
Well, we already know where they have gone, right? So, I guess if there's anything else that's being concealed here. Great question. The day is certainly coming to the end. The sunlight is crashing into different colors in the sky as it begins to tuck itself into bed. You can see that the paint that's on all of the tombstones is red and blue. So they are using the colors that will help Blue and Ruddy stay in the fight as they go. That's what's being concealed here. Not only are they kind of doing this, they're setting up their terrain for your approach. I think Ducky will make sure to point that out to everybody. Like,
Great.
hey, look at this.
So if you point that out and we have time to make a careful approach, I'll suggest that we take some of the gray paint and paint over the red and blue that we can to try and take away some of that advantage.
Good thing I brought all these paintbrushes.
It is indeed.
That's a great idea.
That's a fantastic idea, dang it. No, great, smooth assessment. I will say that it's going to take everybody to do it, or you can have one person off watching. How would you like to kind of approach taking care of this effort?
I mean, team vote. I'm inclined to say we all do this to try and negate their advantage, but I'm fine if I take it and someone else takes watch because I brought this up.
Oh, happy to help.
I think we should all do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I need everyone to roll to act under pressure. A unanimous act under pressure roll.
10 from me.
10 is good.
11.
11 is better.
Is better.
Bill isn't exactly an artiste. Rolled a 3.
A 3 is bad. Would you like to use your luck here?
Yeah, it's a shot. Let's go. Absolutely.
Okay. I think it's a good time. Juno?
Juno didn't get that copy from Bill, so she rolled a 4.
Oh.
And no luck here, is that right?
No luck anymore.
Ooh, a hard move for me and an experience point for you. Callahan, you do not get to mark an experience for Bill, but you do get to choose if you'd like to take a 12 tier roll here or avoid danger from a dangerous blow.
What is a 12 tier roll?
For your act under pressure, that will mean that whatever you do to dodge out of the way works to perfect success, but you may still take some damage based on not taking that other option here.
Oh, then yeah, we'll take that.
Sweet. As you turn your heads towards this, we see as for just a moment little motifs of you all painting gravestones, and then we watch as Juno, who's painting a gravestone, sort of like sees a shadow lurch up behind her, and when she goes to turn, we see Ruddy Roger, and he grabs her. He's red again, and he grabs her with his enormous strong arms, and he lifts her into the air. He says, "I got one, boss!" And then he runs off back towards where the spot in their cemetery they've hidden. We see as you've got most of the paint covered in the graveyard, but now Juno is in grave danger. What do the three of you want to do as our searcher gets taken hostage?
I think I'd chase after her.
Murky on the trail. Go ahead and roll to act under pressure. See if you can keep up with this guy. He is not the speedy one.
Good thing I have good cool. I got a 12.
A 12, right on his tail. You have +1 to your next move as you act into this. What do you want to do to try to help get him out of, or get her out of Roger's clutches?
I think Ducky is just chasing after them, paintbrushes in hand, hurling insults like, "Hey, get back here, you coward! Don't just pick up women. They don't like that."
Roger
don't like that.
He looks back. He's like, "This isn't what it looks like." And you're absolutely in his head now. Blushing teen that he is, he doesn't seem to take that well. What is your intention with that? Are you trying to slow him down or get him to stop completely?
Yeah, just trying to throw him off a little so I can catch up. I am aware that I may have to kill him, so I do have these paintbrushes in my hand. I maybe want to stake him if I get close. But I think Ducky's still shouting like, "You're such a creep! Put her down!"
And we see the two of you kind of do the classic cartoon chase around trees, behind gravestones. You pop up behind something and then around the corner from something else. And the whole time, the two of you run in circles with Juno on his shoulder. Marcus, Bill, it is you who sees Idris. He floats down out of one of the trees and he looks at the two of you. He says, "Blue had to go take a rest. The puny humans of this town managed to get the color right off of her. But I'm afraid it isn't going to be so easy with me." What do the two of you want to do?
Here, Marcus, let me get you a little better view. And I'm going to turn on the flashlight at him.
Flashlight on. Bill, this is going to have to be a kick some ass here, because you're going to do damage one way or the other.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, that's going to be a 6 + 1 for a 7.
A 7 is just enough. You and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. As you go to shine this light in his face, the flashlight immediately starts to sizzle and burn his skin. Classic vampire in sun-like bubbles. And he goes, "Wow, how dare you?" And then he looks directly into your eyes. And for just a second, we zoom in on yours and his. They take up the whole screen, and he makes a despairing gaze. You feel as you begin to lose hope. You take 1 harm, but you also take -1 forward. As you start to just feel hopeless in this moment, his despairing gaze sapping you.
Oh, no.
Your light works though, and he reaches out towards Marcus. What is our monstrous gonna do?
If I see that moment where they lock eyes and make contact, my plan is to sort of rush forward. I want to try and duck behind him, grab him with one hand, and sort of rake my claws across his face to try and break that gaze.
Wonderful idea. Essentially trying to give him a little concentration roll here, if I read the cards right. Let's roll to kick some ass. Unholy strength lets you roll plus weird.
Indeed, okay.
Add 3 to them bones.
I shouldn't say this because it will mess up the magic. I bought some new dice. I'm so happy with my purchase. So this is an 11 on the die, so that's a 14.
All right.
Added benefit, indeed, you get to choose a super move here. You and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other, but you can completely hold the advantage, giving everyone +1 forward, suffer no harm at all, inflict double harm, or drive the enemy away in a rout.
I want to hold this. He's in charge here, and I think he's the biggest.
He's gonna wallop
threat.
you. I'm just gonna warn you here that he's gonna wallop you back. Like I don't want to change your mind or anything, but he's gonna give you a hit right now.
That's This is what I do, though. I'm gonna regret it later, but we're living in the now. So I am grabbing onto him. I have raked across his face, and I am absolutely trying to give our group +1 forward. So yeah, I'm raking his eyes. I'm trying to hold his head so that he can't make eye contact with anyone else, and I will take what's coming.
Wow. You take 3 harm, close, and life drain. He gets half of it rounded down back. So you do your full harm, and then he takes 1 from you in heal. However, he also removes all color from you, and you're gonna start to feel that rage, that anger, that fury, that righteous fury start to almost fade, like you're holding onto an ember and it's turning cold in your hands. Let's turn to Ruddy. Across the way, we can see Juno. You're now bound up, but you have a moment here to try to free yourself. Ruddy has captured you, but he hasn't got away with it yet. Juno, what do you do?
Is there maybe a fountain nearby in the cemetery?
I'll say that one of the graves has a little bird bath sort of set in it. It's not much, but it is water.
Okay, I think what she's trying to do in his grasp is she's trying to wriggle quite a lot so he might lose his balance and fall into the water.
A good timing and getting you free is going to be a tough roll, but let's see what the bones say about it. I think it's an act under pressure from me.
And you get +1.
They sure do.
Okay, that's a 9, thank goodness.
Ducky, you're in the perfect spot for a quick help out here. Do you want to just throw those bones for cool?
Yeah, I think Ducky will kind of see what she's trying to do, maybe dive at his feet. A sort of last-ditch effort to trip him. I got an 11.
We see a perfect success on both fronts as that 11 adds 1 to your roll. Juno, you start to wriggle loose and we see his hands. He's like, hey, stop that. And then he starts to like try to re-grip and you just slip from him. And as you do, we see your hands in slow motion. Ruddy Roger, and as he's starting to fall off balance, we just see Ducky walk up and just give him a quick flick into the bird bath. He falls and it washes all of the red from his body. He immediately slumps unconscious. His head lolls against the stone and Ruddy Roger is no more. However, across the way, as you sort of help Juno up, you see as Idris readies an attack of some sort. Ducky, Juno, take a moment here. What do we see between the two of you?
Oh my god, did we just kill him?
I think we just murdered a man. Does the color come back to Ducky?
Ducky, you do not return all of your color. Unfortunately, Ruddy Roger is not dead, but it is starting to come back. You can already see the pale flesh color of the first sense of cheeks, and your hair has just that dusting, like a paprika coated top.
We did not kill a man. Can I stake him in the heart with the paintbrush?
We see you lifted up. No roll needed here, Ducky. Describe your killing blow.
I think it's just very straightforward. Ducky just takes the paintbrush, looks between whichever one is bigger. So this one will do, and he just stakes it right into Reddy's chest.
We see him, and then he starts to spill color from his belly. And we see as he sort of like, and his eyes go wide, he lolls back, and then your color returns. And we see as he turns to dust, like vampires sometimes do. Across the way, we see Idris is readying an attack. As the red from Ruddy floats up in the air, Idris smells it on the wind. Ruddy, no! And he leaps towards the other two with his mouth spewing color. Marcus, Bill, you have a second to try to protect them, to keep Ruddy here, or to keep Idris here, but he's headed for the other two vampire slayers. What do our monstrous and mundane want to do?
Actually, quick question: how much did I take from that last hit again? Was it 2?
3 harm.
It was 3. Okay, thank you. Um,
Before armor,
yeah.
if you have any armor, you can reduce it that way.
Nope, do not. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try and jump on his back and bring him to the ground. Not so fast.
Alrighty. Our werewolf lunges towards him. I think I'm gonna have a protect someone here. That's gonna be plus tough.
Oh no. Okay. That's fair though. Oh, have I mentioned I love these dice? Because I love these dice. That's a 0 for me, but I rolled a 10.
A 10
Alright.
on the dice alone plus 0 to the bones. We've got a perfect success. The odds were ever against us. You protect them from all harm they were going to get, but you get to choose an extra. You suffer less of it. All impending dangers focused on you. You inflict harm, your claws, on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
So first of all, let me take a quick moment to say it has been wonderful playing with you all. My choice is to make sure he does not get away, so I am holding the enemy down in this instance instead of back. I want to make sure that he doesn't go after my companions.
A basketball hip check. You pull him back to the ground just as he starts to float, and as he vomits, we see color hit all of the buildings on the area you're fighting in, or hits all the gravestones in the area you're fighting in. They just start to sparkle, and colors start to flash, and then they start to sizzle like acid is dissolving the stones. And Marcus, you see as you're pointing this thing, like, oh, you point it away from the other hunters so they do not get drenched in this bile. Bill, I'd love to give you a chance to strike the last blow here. What does our mundane do?
I think Bill runs up to him and goes, "You're not getting out of this one," and points the flashlight right at his face and turns it on again.
Bill. I think it's just gonna be a kick some ass, Bill.
Gotta be. That is a 4 and a 6 plus 1 for an 11.
Heck yes.
11 is a perfect success. You're gonna kill this vampire one way or the other. Can I offer you less harm yourself?
If I can get less harm, I know he's being held. I just want to make sure that Marcus ends up all right.
All right, I think you'll both end up all right, but this creature will be able to strike a blow at Bill. One of the choices for a 10 plus is to suffer 1 less harm. Would you like to take that one?
We'll take that.
In that case, you only take 1. He goes to uppercut you, and claws rake across your chest and neck as you duck your head back. And then the flashlight goes on like you're telling a spooky story. It lights you from below, and you say your line. Got a quip for me, Callahan?
Hope I won't catch you again. Leave 5 stars.
The light goes on, and Idris, as his voice goes wide, he shrieks, and he turns to dust as the light destroys him. We see our hunters now clutching each other, 2 by Ruddy Rogers' dissolving body, and 2 by the flashlight that tumbles to the ground, its beam cascading across the twilight in the graveyard. Color all around you in this space. Our hunters are successful. Take your final moments here. What do we see? What do we do?
Marcus, you all right?
Yeah, I'm getting there. How's everybody else?
Well, we're still alive.
Our
Ducky
color's
makes
back.
his way over, and can I try to use my move Devour Harm from Marcus?
Ooh, nice. A late new move. Ducky, give it to us. What does it do?
So when you touch someone who's hurt, I can mark 1 corruption to heal them and mark half the harm they have suffered.
Whoa.
We will pat Marcus on the back and be like, Gotta pay you back for making that delicious sundae earlier. The bacon was extra crispy.
You know, you may have talked me into trying it. I may. Bacon and ice cream wouldn't have been my first pick, but you know what? You got to be open to trying new things.
And you're growing 2 sizes bigger. Where do they grow these vegetables?
So our montage is sort of us. So, well, you see the soil here; it just makes for great products. And
Juno, last moments in the graveyard?
I think she's just like avoiding being around Ducky because she just watched them murder someone.
Just like looking
she's-
side eye at the curse eater, just like, whoa, hot damn! Like,
Yeah, she's like standing next to Bill and just like kind of like whispers in his ear, like, all is good and well, but like, he just murdered someone. Should we be around him?
When you live long enough, you know, you want to keep people around you that you can count on. I think we can count on these people.
She kind of just purses her lips and like shakes her head or nods and is like, "Oh, okay." Still side-eyeing Ducky.
side-eyeing Ducky the whole way, and we exit the graveyard. The camera pans up, and our adventure comes to a fitful and fateful conclusion. We've got a couple of questions here that we ask at the end of every adventure just to see if we might be able to get a little bit more experience. We did get one experience from the trading cards. We managed to find every trading card available. There was an extra one just in case Maggie loses the color of her dress. We didn't find that one today. We managed to avoid that disaster. And then on landmark stickers, we could have saved the lighthouse's red stripe. But alas, we did not, so we will not get an experience there. For now, let's ask some questions to see what we've got. Did we conclude the current mystery?
we did.
I think so.
Success indeed. Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
Yes.
I
I
think
believe
so.
we
yeah.
saved the fire chief at one point.
Yeah.
Yes, all around. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Oh man, there's monsters here. Yikes.
Bill certainly did. What about the other hunters? Think of this one from a character perspective rather than a player one. What did Juno learn about the world, Qua?
I don't know if it's really about the world. The fact that she just knows that, you know, Ducky's willing to kill is something that's on the radar now. Like, she just like, he's part of this thing that I have to like search out, but
Yeah,
it's
scary.
it's getting crazier, you know.
I'll count that as a yes. Pinky, what about Ducky? What did Ducky learn that's new or important about the world?
I think Ducky discovered that the diner has secret menu items, and he's delighted about that.
You gotta be in the know.
You gotta be in the know is so funny. Wonderful. Bill, you learned about monsters, so we'll go yes all round. Marcus, what did you learn that's new or important about the world?
So this is all sort of new to me. I'm still sort of coming to terms with my existence. So every new thing in this town has me, what? So I absolutely know that not only do vampires exist, they go for colors and not blood. So it's a wacky day. It's a wacky day.
That's 3 yeses for everyone, so you can go ahead and mark 2 more experience. A total of 3 for the episode. Did anyone level up?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Very close,
All right.
but no.
Close. You gotta roll worse next time, Callahan. You gotta roll
Hey.
bad dice.
When it happens, but not today.
Yeah, I think Kevin had a good string of luck too. Well,
Yeah, I
viewers,
did. Crazy.
That's another mystery solved here in Haven's Mill, folks. Our heroes have saved the day again, proving that with friendship, courage, and just a little bit of cartoon logic, even the scariest monsters can be defeated. Best part of these Saturday morning cartoon adventures is you can be a part of the adventure too. That's right, mystery solvers. These are regular people just like you from the Start Playing Games community, and look how great they did. So whether you're a seasoned investigator or this is your first time, come join us in Havens Mill. Every Saturday for Saturday morning cartoons, and Perdition's Crossing on Sunday for high noon Dust and Shadows. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep helping your neighbors, and remember, in a world full of monsters, sometimes the real magic is just being brave enough to care. I'm going to go spend some time with my players. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.